we're all mic'd up. Anyway, so anyway, when Unicorn came, he's like, yo, something workout. I was like, bro, you don't even know how crazy that is. Because the last time I saw Quill, I was like, yo, I want to work out with Unicorn, man. That'd be great content. Yeah. And then you walked in and said that. I'm like, yo, you have no idea. My grandmaster was here.
Yeah.
He
was kickboxing, boxing, and all that.
With Master Garmin.
I literally thought about him today doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was here for 2 weeks.
Tomorrow. He hasn't called me yet, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that would be great. But just to barter, like, man, just let me come hang out in the studio. Let's shoot some content. That's the strat. Like,
let's do it.
People will pay us like they've been paying Adrian Broner and Dean the Great. They gave him a gym. You've seen that, right?
Who is this? I don't even know these people.
Adrian Broner was like Floyd Mayweather's little brother. He was like a top-ranked boxer. Yeah. And he fell off and he got into drinking and all this other stuff. And Dean is a young streamer, but he also boxes. He's up and coming. Somehow, some way they cross paths. And they just got a storyline of going from degenerates to training to on his way back to glory now as a top-ranked boxer. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Literally, it's like athletes make the best, right? Mm-hmm. You know who I've been, talking to the team about. Hey, you got to do an athletes make the best streamers. Because if you look at the streamers, a lot of them are athletes. Rampage Jackson, Adrian. So Adrian Broner's a 4-time world champion from Ohio. Yeah. Right? And he was nice. Fought like Floyd and everything. Fell off because he started losing, but he got cocky. Yeah. That's that maturity thing. Yeah,
he got cocky. And then when he started losing, instead of like recalibrating and training, because he was already so big and popular, he got into the rapping and the big jewelry. He wanted to keep up with Floyd Mayweather.
Wait, let me compartmentalize it for Stacy. You know how people wear the glasses on the inside? Okay. Mm-hmm. They wear the sunglasses on the inside. Yeah.
He knows how I feel about that.
You don't like that?
No. Yeah.
Well, look at him. He was wearing some sunglasses every now and again. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm matured, right?
I'm mature. Yes.
Matured.
Yes. It's important.
You'll like the podcast we just did because Unicorn.
I've seen you with some sunglasses before.
Yeah.
That's the 8 gators.
Yeah. But not inside.
Not inside though.
Not inside. But that's the story, right? But it's been a great story. Definitely got my attention because now he pretty much did what it is I'm trying to do back here.
What you are doing back
here. I am doing back here. He's living in a gym 24 hours, 45 days, getting back in shape. Oh. Other fighters are coming to see him, people that are popular. Yeah. And it's like that, they're merging markets in real time. It's almost like if we're living in like we're living simulations right now. Yeah. And so it's the sponsorship.
You're making a killing with those sponsorships.
Shout out to Vitamals. It's the sponsorship.
It's the maybe Timo.
That's right. That's why I cut the things off this water because they ain't paying us.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, turn around. Yeah, you want to buy it?
It's so crazy.
I'll try it if you buy it.
That's true. I like that. I did that.
I'll tell you.
Funny. So it's the streaming companies that are paying for the gym. They're paying him. Adrian Broner went flat broke. Yeah. And now he's back to being a millionaire just from streaming.
And it's only been a few months.
It's only been a few months. And now the way they got popular is just being themselves. Yes. But he's actually really funny.
He's hilarious.
Did you see the one with not Don Tolliver? Who's the guy with the dreads? Ty Dolla $ign. Yeah. Did you see that one?
A little bit of it, yeah.
You saw it when they were talking about his hair?
Yeah, he was on it.
Yo.
AB is funny.
He's like, I think it's time to make an executive decision. Now that I'm standing over you, you're doing like the Stevie Wonder. Like, it's time to make. He's like, he literally tapped him and said, "Stop the music, man. It's time to make." You know how black people be, right? So I say all that to say, streaming, brand alignment, what can be done, even bartering. It's like as long as we do it on camera, we'll be fine. Yeah. Because there's so many tools and so many things that we could talk about where we are as adults in an industry industries that we're still part of. At this table, you've got real estate, business consulting. You've got artist management or talent development, brand development. What do you call it? Okay. What do you call it?
I have a consultation company, but specialize in public relations and management and marketing.
There you go. We've got
a news reporter.
a news reporter, local news reporting extraordinaire.
That's important.
Right?
That's
You know?
important.
And then we've got the hottest artist in
Entertainment.
New Jersey on the East Coast right now. And we're just chilling in our backyard, just having a conversation.
But that's what people want. I think now, and this we talk about in real estate, now how to leverage the moment, right? We are the ones who ask for things, and then we get it. And then we get to change things, right? So we say, okay, I want this, and companies, then we get marketed to. We're kind of the ones that say this is what we want. Yeah. So everybody wanted AI, we wanted this, we wanted that. Now we're sick of it, right? Because we change our minds and we get tired. Now people want authenticity because now it's too much AI. Nobody knows if this is real. We don't know this AI is crazy. All of these videos, you don't know what's authentic from what's not, and people are like sick. Yeah. I also think that a lot of the Zooms, the online, although it's good, some of the in-person and this right here is missing. People are lonely.
Yes.
Some people, it's good for what it's good for, but it's not good for us to be alone for a long period of time, even looking at these screens. And so it is a good time to get back to this. People want some of the grassroots. They need that.
Well, they need it actually, because everything is so virtual.
Yeah, and what you're saying, right, there's so many places, and we meet people all the time where you're good at your business, but we get stuck. Right? It doesn't matter what the business is. It could be real estate, it could be anything. You do get to a point where you're plateauing, and then you're like, well, how do I get from here to here? And you need somebody to help you because maybe he has something that you don't have.
Always.
I have something he doesn't have. And when we do have these masterminds, you have ideas I don't even think about, like, do what in your backyard? Like, we could do, right, like ways that we can maximize the things we already have. We don't even have to go outside looking for more. It's really about knowing how to leverage the thing we have. And what you were saying about the jet and the Ebony documentary, when I was watching that, I was just looking at that, and I think that when we don't have people that can guide us appropriately, right, when we're not surrounded by the right people, that's what happens. Yeah. You know, there's nobody to say, okay, everybody shows up when you have the thing, and everybody wants something. But the people that are supposed to help you protect it, we don't have enough of those people. And then help you kind of like pass it down so you don't lose it. That's what we were talking about on this thing. Like, we're talking about building wealth and acquiring wealth, but oftentimes we're not talking about how do we protect it.
I love that word, protecting it.
Love it.
That's a big deal. Everybody wants a piece of this thing when you have it, but nobody is helping you to protect it, which is how people end up losing it.
Yeah. I was just talking to him about, you know, from the pandemic, from 2020 to 2022 maybe, I know a lot of people who changed their financial status.
Facts. Me too.
And
mine changed. Thank you, Lord.
Mine as well.
What did they call that thing? The PPP loan?
Yeah.
I didn't get none of that, so just know that I tried, but it didn't work out for me.
Not said, you know.
However people got it, a lot of people went from...
I plead the fifth.
A lot of people went from 3 figures to 6 figures, right?
Yeah.
But no one knew how to protect it, right? They had it, they knew how to spend it. Some tried to invest it, but who's around you that's going to be like, yo, I see what you're doing, but let me come in and help you so you don't lose on this end. So you know what I'm saying? I see a slow drip over here. You're bleeding a little bit over here. Let me and protecting the wealth is like something that's untalked about.
Yeah.
Right?
I gotta make 2 jokes because it's current, right? Yeah. First of all, Young Miami, where all the scamming something's at, they're in prison.
Yeah.
Right? Especially, yes.
That's the hottest song
right
now.
You know that song. You heard? Yeah, you heard. You probably didn't realize it.
Spin that.
I'm not singing it. Somebody else, cause I'm not singing.
Yeah.
All my scamming. Okay.
It's a song for scammers to spend their money.
Shout out to Miriam in Houston. When we went to the barbecue, they were playing it.
I was talking to Doug
about
church.
So that's the first joke. They're in prison, right?
Facts.
The second thing is, you talked about COVID. What do you think about this whole Fauci thing? And every question was, plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. On the advice of counsel, I plead the fifth.
I was just watching. We were just watching that.
You were watching the deposition?
Yeah, well,
Wow.
a clip of it. I'm gonna go watch the whole thing because I love stuff like that.
Me too.
But I was watching a clip of it, and I can't say I didn't see all this coming.
Right.
When COVID was happening, because during COVID was when I sat down and actually honed in on my business.
Yeah.
That's when I made sure I went and got all my certificates,
Same.
set up my business accounts. While other
Yes.
people were scamming and doing this, that, and the third, I remember telling my friends, I said, bro, don't even do it. It's going to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
I honed in on my business so much. I set up I was researching, I'm learning, I'm setting up this. I got my first couple big grants during COVID, right? I learned, now I already studied grant writing, but I honed in on the business.
Yeah.
So when I remember thinking to myself, I can't wait till I thought it was going to happen in 2025. All these people going to be singing the blues.
That's right.
They were singing the blues before that.
Yeah. So this deposition has not even surprised me.
So funny.
I seen it coming. Like, y'all did too much foolery.
Yeah,
And you thought it wouldn't come
yeah.
back because you're living in the moment.
There's people who
And
went to
that's-
jail. They had a list. They had a complete list. I want to say like 2-3 years ago,
Oh yeah.
of people that was on the list. There was a woman who owned a restaurant not far from here. Her friend was on the list, and I was like, what?
I went and did my own research because you know this is all
was
public
crazy.
knowledge.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You could see
yes.
everyone who got one, right?
Yes, yes.
Just for kicks and giggles, I looked it up, and I think you were able to. When you look it up, you can see everyone in the same proximity
Yes.
who got the loan, right?
Yes.
And the amounts,
Yes.
and what the
Yes.
business is called.
Yes.
I put an address in that I know there's no business. This is a neighborhood. I picked the neighborhood in Newark, right?
Okay.
Yo, when I saw these made up names and the amount that they got, I remember sitting there looking like, if I could look this up, you know the people that are looking
Yeah.
can look this up and
Right.
see.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
how
the,
come we live to the moment too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We
true.
live for the moment
Yeah.
way too much,
Yes.
and there's no preparation for the future.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Anything, and that goes back to what we were talking about for the Ebony and Jet magazine.
Yeah.
There was no form of preparation for the future. It was just focusing on the moment now. Like my friends that work up at the labels, they'll tell me like so many artists they'll sign the contract. They're so quick to sign it. They're getting a quick $500,000 in advancement. They walked into the label with barely barely a couple $100 in their pocket, so they don't even care. They just sign it and then go out and spend some money on jewelry, not even letting the money sit to draw any form of interest.
Yes.
And you know,
It's because we don't know that. I think that it's twofold to your point, right? Because when my grandmother used to say poverty is a crime, and she used to say that. But now I really see that it leads to crime, and it is that because when you don't have anything, you don't have resources, and you literally get a couple dollars, it's that.
Yeah.
But you don't have anybody. Most people who come from that environment don't have family members who can be like, let me connect you to an attorney, or
No.
they have a little savvy, or because you're coming from a line of people who don't have anything. So when you get something, nobody in your circle knows how to guide you to be like, you gotta let that sit, you have to reinvest it. You don't really have that, and it's really dangerous. And I feel like
really
when we are the ones that have the wherewithal and the knowledge and the information, if we happen to be in the circumference of people that come in, I feel like it's our responsibility to at least disseminate the information, not try to control the outcome, because what people are going to do, but at least if they have the education, right, it gives them a little bit more option.
That's
I think that's just unfortunate.
Yeah. And I think we get a lot of misinformation, right? Because we are targeted as consumers.
And disinformation.
Right? We get a lot of misinformation because we're consumers, right? They're like, okay, these folk want to save their money now. These folk want to invest, they want to be entrepreneurs. All right, we're going to sell them this idea of entrepreneurship. Or don't go to college no more. Everyone be entrepreneurs.
Yep.
And if you stick to it, and if you buy this and buy that and get the LLC and pay for all these fees, you'll be successful.
Now they got the annual fee, the state fee.
Yes.
It is not the case. Entrepreneurship is one of the most unsuccessful things you can try to do. Right? It is. What percentage of entrepreneurs make it past 2 years?
Not a lot.
Like,
Most of them fail.
It's like below 10%, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe I made 7.
So
Somewhere between 5 and 7.
I did 7.
so they figured
Oh,
out
you made 7.
they figured out a way to give us this information like, okay, be your own boss, be your own business owner. So now they got all of us thinking, okay, I paid $250 for an LLC, I'm a CEO now. You're not a CEO. You gotta have employees to be a CEO. But okay, I'm a CEO, I'm doing my own business now. Okay, I'm going to invest. And all we're really doing is we're not giving our money to the direct retailers now, but we're still giving our money. We're giving it to manufacturers. We're giving it to service-based businesses, but we're still giving our money away in hopes that we're going to flip it. Right. Entrepreneurship is not a flip. It's a long-term game. And those who have money and those who operate businesses understand that you have. Okay. Most businesses operate in the red for 2 to 3, 4, 5 years before they even become profitable.
That's right.
We think, okay, I buy these jeans for $20, sell them for $40. If I do that 1,000 times, that's $40,000. Doesn't work like that, right? But we think that because that's the dream they're selling us. Yeah. Oh, matter of fact, go to the Navy Federal, get you a loan for $100,000. You'd have made $100,000. No, you got to pay that back plus interest. Yes. They never talk about the back end of any of this stuff. Yes. Right? And so it's like now we're being sold entrepreneurship, but we're just being consumers in another way. Yeah. And I think that we need to, as people who are entrepreneurs, need to tell other people, listen, entrepreneurship is a long end game. When you do make $100K or somebody gives you $100K, sit that into the high yield savings account until you have a plan to where you can. You might not even need to spend the whole $100K on your business. Take 20 out and let the other 80 generate interest while you see what this 20 does. And guess what? If you lose that 20, at least you got 80 over here that's generated something, and you know, okay, that wasn't the right move. Yeah. But yeah, we're not taught that. Everybody, you know how many people come to me? Hey, yo, let me give you $5K so I can get down with your business. And then, like, well, it don't work like that. No, I'm gonna give you $5K, just give me 10 back into them. It doesn't work like that. That's
where's the money coming from?
It doesn't work that
way. Who are you conducting business with?
Yeah, they think you could throw money into the machine and it comes out.
I'm gonna tell you something, right? This is the truth. So what I really think a good way to help mitigate this is, in my opinion, taking a young person under your wings. Because the younger we start educating our folks in the school system where they're not getting that level of education, right? They're not getting things that they can really use when they come out to really sustain themselves in real life. For the most part, if you take a young person under your wings and you start to educate them, I think that will help. So with that being said, I have been doing videos about Newark Youth Career Pathways. I have a summer youth who started working with me 2 weeks ago, gets paid through Newark Summer Youth, and what we were doing yesterday was going over a budget. So we started going over a budget. The day before, we did a tour of downtown Newark. We went to Museum of the Historical Society. Yeah. We went to a couple of places first before learning about real estate, and I said, real estate is not about real estate. Real estate is about a schedule and a business. So the real estate comes later, and that speaks to what you're talking about. So I'm in a bunch of coaching groups, and everything is not about, it ain't about selling real estate. It's about keeping a schedule, because the first thing you have to do is you got to manage yourself. Most real estate agents or most people who transition into working for themselves, if you work for a job, then you have some clear expectations. You got to show up at this time, you punch in at this time, you get paid at this time, you do that. When you transition to working for yourself, which is what happened to me 6 years ago, right now people think, oh, I work for myself. It's a free-for-all. I can get up when I want. I can do what I want. I can work. No, you work more when you work for yourself. But no one sets those expectations. I always say people don't teach us the business of business. And that's a lot of folks who look like myself and you, right? We have a talent, we have a gift, and then we put it to use either because we need to, we got to feed the kids, we have the skills to pay the bills. But if someone's not around us to really help us develop and hone that, we end up spinning our wheels. So we started back from the beginning. So in the beginning, my young intern was like, oh, she thought we were just going to be doing all the fancy stuff. And I said, no, we got to start with some basic things. We got to start with education, because when I got a license 20 years ago, that is not what I got. I literally got a license. I was trying to buy a building, and someone said, get a real estate license. I didn't know I was going to be a real estate agent. And I just fell in love with real estate. But where I was, there was no, you had to just come and get it. The second time around when I got licensed here, what I realized I needed was a mentor. So I asked the person who I ultimately ended up partnering with, who was my real estate agent, to mentor me. So before I even got the house, I got mentorship and a real estate license and guidance, because when you realize like the money won't come if I don't know how to get it.
That's right.
And I always say this to new agents. I had somebody call me about like guiding somebody. I always say you want to get under a good commercial brand where they have good education and training. Get on a team.
Yep.
Interview people. Don't worry about the money, because 50% of something is better than 100% of
Nothing.
absolutely
Yes.
nothing. And if
Yes.
you don't know how to get the money, which you first need the education and the training, you ain't gonna have no money. So your first thing is don't worry about the money, worry about how to get educated and develop. So going back to the young person, I'm a big proponent of that, and I've worked with the youth a lot because that's where the issue is. We were young,
Yep.
and the issues that we're talking about is that we didn't have somebody who was around us, and that's
Tell
not
us,
any
yeah.
fault of our own. Your environment is just what your environment is. To say, let me mentor you, let me show you, what do you want to be? You want to be a firefighter? Come to the right. We didn't have that. We have a lot more of that now, and I
Yeah.
think that because so many of us are youthful and intentional about what we have, when we have more access, we have these young people need that, so that they're not
Yes, they do.
struggling like this when
Yeah.
they're in their 30s and their 40s and they have businesses. We start that early, and then that becomes the trend. A lot of that can be mitigated because we now have the resources, and we have things. We
information
don't
is
need
there.
money. We have this.
The information is
right?
there.
We have that, and a lot of these young people, they're eager to learn. They
yeah,
just
they are.
need somebody willing to take them under their wings and let them come. They're getting paid to come hang out with you, so you're really getting some complimentary labor, because I don't want to say free.
Yeah.
The city pays them to come hang out with you.
Yep.
That can be a solving to somebody who starts a business and don't really have the upfront cost. Here you are, you have some labor, you get to
People,
teach
yeah.
somebody something that you already have, right? And they get paid to learn what you have. But that pays itself over and over, and they
does.
then can do that for somebody else.
Yep.
That's what, in my opinion, I feel like that will help a lot of the issues that a lot of folks,
Yeah.
especially that look like us in our communities, that's missing.
You're breaking that
Mentorship.
cycle.
Yeah.
You're breaking that cycle of not being children not being thinking they're not equipped
Yeah.
to succeed and stuff like that. Like just
Mentorship is so
going
important.
into business but not having a mentorship is
Yeah.
crazy. Like I
And-
told
and-
myself that I was around more business minded people growing up, it would have been a whole life changer. Like me, I always had a job, I always had allowance, but it was never so about investing. It was okay, save your money, but there's other ways
Yeah.
of like about that. I thought you had to have so much money to open a business. So when I opened my business, I was like, damn, this is so easy. Like,
Yeah.
not easy as in like maintaining, but just the process of getting your paperwork. That was
Together.
1, 2, 3 thing. But growing up, they made it seem like this was some thing where you had to have so much, like thousands of dollars to get it, and it was like just a major relief. Like once it happened, but I wish I did had more people that was business minded when I was growing up.
Well, now you
can't
can be
yeah,
that for somebody
Yeah.
else, right? We can.
Yeah.
I feel like it's our responsibility because of everything you just said. I think COVID was the gift and the curse, right? Because COVID created a climate for people to start businesses. There were more homeowners created in COVID that otherwise would not have been, because
Yeah.
people were home and they were able to save so much money that now things they weren't even thinking about they were able to do.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that because COVID pretty much leveled up the playing field in a lot of places. Back in the day, it might have been a real thing where, yes, you had to open up a brick and mortar. That would have cost thousands of dollars. That might be a real thing, and that's a barrier. We don't need that. Brick and mortars are actually becoming obsolete, right? We can run a business from right here or from wherever because that's happening. But I also think that the issue that still remains is there's a lot of people who still don't know. Even with some of the information is too much. Right? We're in information age where it's an information overload. So now it can give you analysis paralysis. We still need somebody.
That's right.
That's somebody
You
that
walk
we
through,
wish
yeah.
was there
Teach
to
us
be
and
like,
guide us.
all right,
Yeah.
let me tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this foundational piece. This ain't about that. We're gonna strip this down to the bare bones, and let's just start with the education. What do you know? And then work from there, and then show the person what it is you do and a day in the life of what you do, so they know that a lot of the stuff they're seeing is fake news. You do have to put in sweat equity, which we talked about yesterday. You do have to build the business no matter what. It's going to take time. But if they're able to see that,
Yeah.
our 13-year-old talks about show versus tell, right? We can tell somebody something all day, right? But the
Gotta
most
see it.
compelling thing is when they're able to see it. that it really it resonates more.
Yeah.
Me telling that young lady about all the stuff, all of this, to that, is very different than us walking into those places
And doing it.
and looking at the transaction and her doing the transaction, right? That's gonna stay with her. Yeah. We can create those experiences for young people.
I remember when I was studying coding when I was at NJIT, right? And I didn't even want to go to school for computer science, but I ended up there. When I was reading it, what the hell am I reading? But when the dude across this Indian dude across the hall, when he actually sat and did it with me on the computer and was like, we're typing, and I'm like, oh, there's a way, like the way information is ingested from doing and seeing versus, and not only that, learning is time consuming. So hypothetically speaking, somebody from our community has a good idea, wants to make a business, and then the time it's going to take them to learn all that information, somebody who's already been mentored is going to jump right on it, right? First. And so when I was working with, like, as a behavior therapist, I was working with kids that lived in affluent neighborhoods. Their mentorship is built in. They grow up with parents, grandparents, and uncles, logging business, CPA, lawyer, and they're learning as they're growing up. Then by the time they finish high school and go into the job, which they get the job through either nepotism or networking, right? They've already learned it. Yeah, they read the books and stuff too, but they don't have to waste the extra time trying to get the actual, what's the word?
The knowledge.
Yeah, like the learning process, because the mentorship is built into the home. It's built into the family. But in our communities, we don't have that. So a lot of us are self-taught, which is time consuming, right? And then there's opportunity cost. If you study economics, you know what opportunity cost is. The time you spend doing one thing is time lost doing another thing. So all the time I'm spending learning is time taken away from me doing. And vice versa. So it's like mentorship is so important when you think about opportunity cost.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're saving these youth time where they could be doing what they learned through mentorship.
That's why I was so blessed to have grown up with a black attorney. So the first lawyer I knew about was a black attorney. Shout out to Mr. Utsi in Jersey City. And I realized, like, growing up, like, that's very rare. Like, not that many black men can sit there and say that they grew up with a black attorney. Their first attorney that they knew was a black man. Then as you get older, you see, like, okay, it wasn't that easy at all to get to that position, but the fact that I was able to grow up and see that, you know what, you can be a black attorney, a black doctor, nurse, anything like that, outside of just, and no disrespect to any of our people that have blue-collar jobs, but there are other things, options that you can do outside of that. But it's so many of our people that can't really see that because they're not able to experience that from the neighborhoods and stuff that they are around. But the fact that we have people like all of us that are able to change that, you know, is a blessing.
So do I hear you saying you want me to give you the information so you can see how you can take a young person under your wings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
That sounds perfect.
I remember
team building.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
team building.
Yes, it does.
When I was in high school, they put me in this program where we were able to take college courses as like a junior. And I took business law 1 and 2. And I'll never forget how much I enjoyed those classes. Like, I loved business law. I did better than the college students.
So you wanted to become an attorney?
So that was the thing. I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't know what you became once you graduated business law, right?
Yeah.
But I remember, because of the neighborhood I grew up in, they were like, law? You want to be a law? I want to be a cop.
Oh my
I
God.
remember thinking to myself, damn. I'm like a business cop.
A business.
Yeah. People in my neighborhood.
That's gonna be a viral clip.
Yeah.
I'm a business guy.
Yeah. And I remember, I was like, I'm going to pursue business.
I'm a business
So
guy.
when I went to college for business, but I'm like, I ain't going to do law. I don't be no cop. I'm going to go to college for business, but not business law. But when I think,
you just hearing the story, huh?
yeah. But when I think back on it, right, I'm like, yo, I really love business law. And I still remember all the things I learned in that class.
I was still that one.
Yo,
I'm a business cop.
I could have been an
Like,
attorney.
For you.
That's
But
funny.
everybody in my neighborhood, they was like, you studying law? Remember, I was in high school at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm taking these business law classes. The law?
You know what was funny? It's good that you shared that, because when what was missing, and they're bringing that back now in a lot of these schools, the vocations. I went to a high school that had just gotten converted to, it was an all-boys school. I'm from Queens.
Yeah.
And then it had just gotten kind of integrated. So they had shop, they had all of that stuff. But even, I was there for a year, then I went to another high school. What they had was a co-ed program, or something like that, where you got to, I went to work, I wanted to be an attorney. So I wanted to be an entertainment attorney.
No, you want to be an entertainment cop.
And so you got to pick those things, which I think is good, because it gives you an introduction to, do I really want to do this?
Yeah.
Right before going to college, and then you doing all this, you waste the money. So I was able to, I interned for an attorney called Balsam & Rosenblatt in Brooklyn. You went to the job Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and then I went to night school. And then that didn't work out, and I was able to go to the Bronx. So now those attorneys, they were Jewish. This was the first time I had met a black attorney, George Edwards. So he was the head attorney for Bronx Legal Services. And then I got that experience, and that's where I really got coaching and mentorship. Mm-hmm. That man took me under his wing like his daughter. Wow. And I mean, even down to what I wore. He was very protective. And when you have that, you have somebody that cares about you like you're their kid, and then teach you. Mm-hmm. It was a great experience, and a lot of my friends were in those programs where whatever the thing is they wanted to pursue, they were able to go work for these companies, and then you can make a decision before going to college if this is something you really want to pursue. When I did get to college, I decided I didn't want to do that. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to get into I got my degree in psychology. But having the experience really shaped me and really made me think about, do I really want to do this? Then they stopped doing that, right? They took the vocational things out of schools and all of that, but what I noticed now, they're coming back, like with more data science.
They got an architectural school over there.
Yeah, you know why? Because we need it. Because first of all, our infrastructure is failing. We don't need another TikTokers. We don't need more real estate agents. We don't need that. We need the trades. Who's going to fix our streets? It's a real thing. A lot of those jobs, to the point, because they're not sexy, the blue collar workers, but those are the people we need to fix our plumbing, fix our infrastructure.
Absolutely.
That's important, because I can't fix the infrastructure. I will definitely try, but we need that, and it needs to happen. What are we going to do? So they're bringing that back by necessity.
The people who go into those fields, and the families who have businesses that are in those fields, like the not sexy fields, they're doing very well.
Yes, they are.
Their kids raise up and become plumbing and loggers and, people garden, all that stuff. Those services are necessary services that will always get contracts.
Yes.
Always, right? And we're turning our kids want to be streamers.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
I'm wrong with being a streamer, but...
And this is for you.
I'll jump in on that.
Oh, go ahead.
But the thing is, right, there's three things that were said that I need to touch on. Number one, trade school. Who's fixing our garage? It's me. Why? Because I was exposed when I went to Columbia to wood shop and auto shop, right? So I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. Literally streamed about it. We had a beaver in the garage. I took the dirt out the garage, put it in this divot over here where you see in the other stream. That I was walking around with the guy from Plants and Plots, Hashim Bennett, to turn this into a sustainable garden. Went in there, blocked them in, drilled it in, drilled holes through, like, did a whole thing. Took something down in the garage. I probably need to put it back or whatever. And I'm doing that all myself because it's stuff I learned. And I'm comfortable with it. The other thing is, when you're a homeowner, this is for the young people out there, and some of the stuff you talked about, like investing in real estate, you should know how to fix some of the things that you have so you can keep some of your money, right?
Correct.
Like, we had a whole washer problem. We might have spent $300 on this washer. None of these plumbers could fix. I said, babe, order these two things fixed. $25.
Yeah.
Right? And all I needed was a wrench. Really my hand with a glove on, right?
Yeah.
And that worked. But the other thing is, the blue-collar jobs are not sexy because we have not made them sexy. Let me just take a high point on this one.
Yep.
That's right. Me and my crew consulted for some of the largest energy developers on the planet, right? Based in Europe. Most of them based in Europe. And they're trying to promote workforce development, blue-collar jobs. What didn't they do? They didn't stream. They didn't stream about it.
Yeah.
They didn't TikTok about it. They didn't Instagram about it, and that's why they failed, because their job market, middle schoolers, the pipeline starts in middle school.
Yeah.
Early exposure, everything that y'all said. And where are those eyes? TikTok? Remember the floss dance?
Yep.
Is there. I've been screaming this from the mountaintop since I've been in the industry 5 years now. Right? 5 years. You are not tapping into influencer marketing the way you need to. Our phones are our TVs now.
Yep.
We only have TVs because we can stream Netflix on it and I don't have to hold it in my hand. But that's where the eyes are. And we're ahead of this. Some people are talking about doing series like you see on Netflix or movies vertically, because that's how people watch. They don't want to turn their phone. They want to hold it just like this and watch everything. No lie. I watched most of Ozark just like this on a phone.
Love Ozark.
Didn't need a TV. Sitting there watching it on my phone on a stand in my apartment at the time. Right? And so, as far as building infrastructure, we got to go where the attention is. It's on the phone. Until they have like a chip planted in your head or something, that's where you need to. That's what it's coming to, right? The glasses. But even still, like, you still need your phone maybe to operate the glasses. I don't know. But if that's where it's going, unicorn, that's where you need to market. And those blue collar jobs. When I was working, I worked with a construction company in Newark. We scaled from $500,000 to $3.7 million.
Yeah.
Dude, like, it's not sexy because we think that these people are stupid, right? Oh, the plumber's got his butt crack out. He doesn't know anything. Yeah, the plumber's caking. That's why he can't have his butt crack out.
Exactly.
And you got to tuck your shirt in at your corporate job. You can't even be comfortable. They fired the girl for wearing sneakers at her corporate job. If she was a plumber, she could have worn anything. You get what I'm saying, right? Does that make sense? But what I learned was, not only was he a homeowner, is he a homeowner? He owns a multi-family. Moved most of his family in because he's taking care of his family. He's an immigrant, right? Got his papers, okay? All right? Got his paperwork is straight, okay? His son is now working for him. He's going to take over the company.
Yep.
Okay? Very smart with money and very smart with numbers. And he didn't need the sexy tie to do all that. He hired me for that.
Yeah.
Okay?
He did what he's good at. He played his role.
Played his role, but a lot of those jobs, they teach you how to be good with numbers. He deals with numbers every day. So then he was good with money. He made enough money to invest and buy a home. He's got a Mercedes truck plus his work truck plus his son's got a car. He's able to have life insurance and all the things we need because he gets a package from the union.
Yep.
And he's a new grandfather. And he's able to pass all that down for his legacy. So it's only not sexy because we don't make it sexy.
Exactly.
I proposed 100 times. People didn't listen to me. Now I'm doing it. Shut up. Anyway, so that's the thing. Like, in industries, right? Like, guaranteed. I'm speaking this into the future. When we do a big concert and we're streaming together Unicorn, and if it's sponsored by Home Depot or Tide,
there we
I'm
go.
going with this, right?
I see where you're going with it.
Okay.
Yep.
Vitamos, because they're big about supply chain. It's not just a fancy drink. They talked about supply chain and workforce development.
Correct.
Okay. The states love those things. So if you're going to write a grant, make it about those things because that's what they want. If you use that in a grant, Unicorn, you'll get the money because we want to employ kids, teach them about the music industry. Everybody talks about what's on camera, not what's off camera.
And there's a lot going on off camera.
There's a lot going on off camera, right? We've been streaming about it, and we need a grant for $100,000.
Yes, we do.
Okay, maybe more. And we're going to use that to do X, Y, Z. This is the blast radius of that. We're going to help. The West Ward has 90,000 people in it. We're going to affect 100,000 people with this $100,000 sign right here. And that's how you scale your business.
Yep.
We just don't do it on TikTok and Instagram. They only do it on LinkedIn and barely on LinkedIn. Okay?
Yeah.
And we're not mixing the two. We think, oh, that's for my kids, and we're separatists.
Marketing.
It's marketing. We're separatists. when it comes to, oh, this has to be over. Why? Why does that only have to be on TikTok?
Exactly.
If you're a parent, then you have the market of 14-year-olds and however olds, right? 21-year-olds and however olds, right? If you're married, you have the married market. If you're in a relationship, you have a relationship market.
Yep.
If you're in PR, you got a PR market. If you're a black male, you have a market. If you're a black male over 40, you have a market. If you're a black woman over 40, you have a market. If you're bilingual, you got a market.
Yep.
And what everybody does not well is marketing. They can always get better. And then when the market shifts,
so
they have
true.
to redo it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's so
thank you,
true.
Quill.
Because I
Right,
suck
you have
at
to
marketing
redo
for
it.
myself, but I could do it for everybody else.
Right.
And everybody else.
You
So
know
you just
what?
hire somebody to do it for you. Why, and let them capture you doing it for everybody else.
That's what
and then
we're
there
doing right
goes
now.
your content. I think that we're in that space now where we can do that. Because you're working, right?
Yes.
He's
You're
working,
working
definitely working
on
right
the
now.
business. You pay somebody to work in the business. So that, and I learned that, shout out to my broker, Olivier, don't work in the business and on the business. And I'm going to add, you might be out of business. But if you work, because your job as the business owner is to just get more business.
Yep.
So you're working on artist development. You're working on all those things. Now you get somebody to do all of the mundane things that must be done to run the back office, and they're going to watch you. They're going to record your stuff. They're going to do all the admin stuff. They're going to do that so you can do the big business, acquire more business, and then you spend that money that you've earned to invest into hiring more help, and they work in the business. So when we learn that piece, that we don't have to do it for ourselves, because it's very difficult to do it for yourself and then do it for everybody else, right? You don't even got to do that. Just be the CEO. You don't need to be the CEO, the manager, and the janitor. That's not going to work.
That's right.
You be the CEO. The CEO go gets the big business, and they hire somebody to go take care of all the other things that make the big business run.
That's right.
That's what we have to teach people to do. That's where development comes in. That's where consultancy comes in, right? You hire somebody that's going to do the thing that's either they know it better than you, or they don't even got to know it better than you. You just shouldn't be doing it.
That's right.
That's right.
Are you telling them, just hold the camera right there? That's how we're talking
That's
Phoenix.
it.
Yo, hold that camera over there, and that's it.
It's delegating,
And
and that's
yeah.
what we don't learn, how to delegate. But we now are in a space where we can hire somebody to go do the TikTok thing, or take the thing that I've already done and you put it on the TikTok and you work on the marketing.
That's
Because
right.
you should just be working on the branding.
Yeah.
And then you hire somebody to work on the marketing.
Yeah.
So I think that that's what we have to understand, that there should be a separation of responsibility. We
Yeah.
just have to get developed in delegation.
I'm gonna give a shout out
That's
to
it.
David.
I don't know who.
You know David. Push.
Oh.
Yeah, I was on his live today, and he said he asked one of his clients, students, for feedback, and the person said, you need to brag more about what you do. And then I commented, you gotta brag to get the bag, David, right?
You gotta brag to get the bag.
You gotta
That's right.
brag to get the
That's
bag.
good.
And when you think about it, right, like we're doing something bigger than our day-to-day, right? That's the idea. Like you want to affect somebody with what you're doing, right? You want to impact somebody with what you're doing. The same is for my wife.
Yeah.
Same is for you. Same is for you. And so in order to do that, you've got to document it. Now you got to look at these business movies, right? Like Founder, like Ferrari, like Wolf of Wall Street, one of my
Yes.
favorite. You know, and some others. It's skipping my mind right now. There's so many, right?
They'll motivate you and they'll
Yeah.
put you in tune.
Yeah.
That's right. But it was all they did. It was documented.
Yes.
Now back then, they did not have YouTube. They did not
None
have
of that.
TikTok. They had to write books,
They
and
didn't
they
have
actually had to write them, right?
They had to
They
write
actually had
books.
to write the book.
There was no chat
or
GPT.
sit
And
down
you
with
had to
some
go
stranger.
read the book. You couldn't pull it up on your phone. You had to go to the library and read
They
it.
actually read the book, right? And they documented it, and then it turned into movies. Legendary. And I read this somewhere. You can't physically live forever, but if they do a movie about you or whatever, you'll live. That's how you live forever. That's the museum concept
Yes.
of those things you've been watching.
Documentaries about the
look,
history of different places. Like
so
Newark.
the reason why, right? Like I listen to certain artists. Like I like Drake, I like Jay-Z, not strictly because of their music. It's the information that they give through the music. So Drake's turning a house to a museum. Why? Because he can pass it down to his son, and it's like a tax write-off and all this other stuff. But that's how he'll live forever.
Yeah.
Yes, memorialize your
Yep.
legacy.
That's how he's gonna live forever, right?
That's legacy.
That's legacy, right?
That's what I'm focusing on.
That's what we're not like the long-term play, right? Whose ministry is it anyway? Right? Like, what are you really doing? How does it go past you? Buying art, selling art, being an artiste.
Yep.
Right? Like how do you break those barriers and then pass it down? We'll never forget the Rothschilds. We'll never forget the Bilderbergs. We'll never forget the what's Jay-Z's last name? What's his name? What's Jay-Z's last name? The Carter's name. We're never gonna forget the Baraccas.
Yes.
You're not gonna
Well,
forget
how
them.
about the local people? We just
That's
learned
a
about
local
Louis
person,
Louis
Baraka.
Bamberger, who was instrumental in the development of Newark. How about just locally? Let's talk about localized the Frelinghuysen.
Yeah.
Right, learning about just the local history of where you currently live, of the ground that you're sitting on. So you I know it was rhetorical, but there is an answer to how do we do all these things. You must get coaching. You must invest in your development, because that is where you're going to get that, right? You're not going to get it sitting at home by yourself. And some of the coaching, Myron Golden is, I don't know if you know Myron Golden, he is my mentor. Mentorship is all around us. That's number one, right? So even when people are talking about mentorship, the way we box mentorship is we got to go find somebody that's doing this thing, but we get mentorship from a 13-year-old every day, right? Mentorship is literally all around us if we're paying attention. Right, and then you can get some specific things for what it is you need to be developed in. But you can join a Facebook group, you can join a school group. People are not understanding that is necessary. When you have a business or you need to be developed, you need to get around people. You must read books. You got to read those things because that's right there. That's accessible to you. Our cell phones, I watch documentaries all day long because I love it. But history is important to me, and history is really important for what I do, right? Because how can I really be good at what it is that I'm doing if I don't even understand it fully? How am I then disseminating that information to someone buying in a city like Newark? I'm living here from New York. I needed to learn things about this city, but then when people are coming here, what am I now passing down to them? How am I helping them to navigate the landscape when I don't even know about the landscape? So the education, which is very simple, it cost us $4 to go right downstairs to the Historical Society Museum. We went right into the Robert Treat Hotel that we were next to and just spoke to the people there. On the wall of the building is information about the building. Literally, on the floor, on the ground where we were standing was the Historical Society's museum. It was so small I didn't even realize it was a museum until I looked up and said, oh my God, that's a museum? 40,000 square feet is this building. You would never be able to tell. The door looks small like this. But all of that is around us. I have been on that block for years, by the way. Did not know that existed until I needed to train a young person. So even the mentorship I'm offering ended up mentoring me. Because if I was not being intentional about what I wanted this young person to pay attention to, I needed to pay attention. And then I realized there were so many things I missed that was right in front of our eyes. So the mentorship is going both ways. It's exciting because as you're pouring into somebody, I'm telling you, that comes back to you. You start realizing things you might know and don't even know you know it. Or just so many things comes out in the development while you're developing somebody else. There's a saying that David always says, and I know he gets it from a coach, that the more people you help, the more it helps you. That is a fact. Like literally, you go out to help people, and what you get back, you have no idea what's going to come back to you. So speaking to that, development, right? We got to get into these courses or classes or whatever. You got to, if you're a business owner and you're not investing in your business, that's number one, right? You are going to have to find the money, get a grant, but it has to go back. The first thing should go back into the business, right? What am I putting back into the business? The marketing, the development of the business owner is important for the scaling. Because when you have employees, how are they going to show up in your business if you're not continuously getting developed? That's my broker. Always I have two of them, always learning. There's never a time I call either one of them and have a question and they don't have an answer already ready, or they're going to get the answer. Because that's what you need. That's leadership. So if somebody calls you and you're in leadership, You better go get the answer, and that means we have to constantly be learning and being developed.
Right.
That's where that will solve a lot of that problem. Drake didn't know that on his own, right? He got around people who developed him and said, do it like this. And if you get the museum, and if you watch this documentary, because I learned that from watching YouTube, if I memorialize this thing, if I open the museum, if I turn half of this house into this, I didn't have to pay for that knowledge. It's literally living right there. Somebody did the work. We just have to go the extra step and be intentional about what is it I'm feeding myself.
Yep.
I could be on TikTok scrolling, or I can be on TikTok and having somebody pay me. The young lady I'm working with tells me she spends, I said, how much time do you spend on social media? She said 8 hours a day. Why? Because it tracks your time. So it's not like, I said, you spend 8 hours a day watching other people make money, and you have a business that nobody knows about, and you want to make money? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Oh, we got busy.
Yeah.
Her business now has a name, and it now, because she said, oh, I'm going to do it next week. I said, no, you're not.
Yep.
You're going to do
Never
it now.
put off for tomorrow what could be done today.
It just
That's
ain't gonna
my number one
happen.
thing.
Something you ain't been doing ain't gonna happen. We did it in that moment. She had to start an Instagram page for the business, come up with a name before we left. And then when we talked, I said, do you really believe that you would have done this next week? She said, no, I wouldn't have done it. What I do like is she's honest. She said, I wouldn't have did it.
Yeah.
Right? But think about that, right? Not only do we need development, but we also need accountability. So an accountability partner. You got to be honest with yourself. There's some stuff I'm not doing. That's why I'm in David's group. And that's why I pay every morning to be on this morning mindset call. Because I think that everybody is good at something. Every last one of us. But everybody has some area of development. Everybody
likes.
right? There's something that we can get better at. There's something that if I can choose to do work avoidance work, I ain't doing it. But I know it needs to be done. So I'm going to get myself into this group, because that might be the thing that I need. So, it's that we all need community. It's identifying what kind of communities we need and getting in that community, because everybody here want to scale to a certain level. I know my money didn't go to work for me because I still got to work for it. And my goal is to make my money go to work for me so I can just do this all day. Right? So that means I need more money. That means we all need more business, more money, more grants, whatever the thing is, to make more impact, to touch more young people. Whatever the thing is that's in your heart. So we have to be intentional about now doing that for ourselves and then showing somebody else how to do it. That's the bottom line. That's real wealth building, in my opinion.
When I went to live with my mother, right? I went to live with my mother for middle school, and she was living in this neighborhood in Maryland with all Jewish kids. So we was all 11, 12, 13. And I witnessed these families make them do research. They were in their houses before their bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. They had to study the family history, the Jewish history. They studied. But not only that, they had these family meetings, like business meetings. Matter of fact, somebody recently did one, like a billionaire dude recently did one on TikTok, but they've been doing this. They run their family the way they run their business, right? And the family meeting with whoever the grandfather was, no matter what industry that the kids were in, it's how much are you bringing back into this household? Okay, that's good that you're doing that. Oh, you're doing this? And they literally broke it down as if it was like he was running a corporation, right? I'm glad you're doing that. You need to, this much has to come back to the household so that Johnny's college need to be paid for. And matter of fact, we're going to put Johnny in this so he can get a scholarship and da-da-da-da. And hold up. Okay, they take advantage of government benefits as well. And they bring that back into the household. And that's how they keep things rolling and under one umbrella. Now, in our community, we don't have the luxury of many full households that we can sit there and be like, okay, there's 12 of us here. All the parents are working, all the kids are in school, the teenagers. We don't have that luxury. But I always thought it would be a cool thing to start a program like that where we could go into some of these households, especially households that are on government assistance. There's really no difference than these households that are on government assistance, right? But it's what are you doing with the assistance? How are you budgeting it? And if you're in a 2-bedroom apartment and there's 5 of y'all, right? But you got grandparents, aunties, uncle, whatever, how are y'all bringing that back to the family so that it's used in a way where you're building, right, where you're scaling? And I think that families really don't. I remember me growing up, we didn't have those type of conversations.
Are your family from here in the United States?
My father's from Africa, my mother's from here.
Okay.
But they were separated. And so I remember, I think my pops tried to have one of those one time. My mother was like, the kids don't need to know about our finances. You know what I'm saying? And I get that to a degree.
Yeah.
But I think in the information age that we're in now, transparency in the household is paramount.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be from the kids on up.
Yes.
Because why hide the finances when it affects the whole household anyway?
That's the fact.
And not only that, the kids can learn from the way that if I'm a child, daddy does it this way, grandpa does it that way, uncle does it that way. Okay, now I know how to budget and plan and invest, reinvest, so on and so forth. And I think that if there's a way to make a program like that where we can go into households and teach them how to call the family meeting and make sure that the family's operating, not everybody splintered and independently, we'd be in a better place financially as a community.
I agree with that.
Can I throw an idea out there? You know, we could do programs, right? Maybe one day. But just doing it on YouTube, that's the program. Because people are watching YouTube
With
anyway.
your own kids.
With your own kids. And
your
what's
own
it
family
consuming?
members.
Well, I go on YouTube and talk about our finances? No. But putting the concept out there, putting the idea out there, at least talking about it or where we're coming from, right? That can be done. So does everybody know Dana Chanel? I know you know Dana
Yes,
Chanel.
the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know Dana, right?
Church.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Curl Bible, right? You know her?
Yes.
Dana,
Remember Dana
I only
Chanel?
know through you because of
She
you.
does content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you know her husband?
They had the jumping jack taxes.
Yes.
Oh,
Donnell.
I know, there we go.
God, what was it? I think it was Forbes. No, Black Enterprise.
Oh, you got them on there?
That's nice.
Okay, all right.
I told you.
I don't know. I know you told me.
I'm just learning.
I know you told me. All right. So I want to tell you a funny story about that. I used to train her father. Like
Wow.
physically, he was running for, hey kids, it's Uncle Magic. You know that guy?
Uncle Magic.
Uncle
Yes.
Magic.
That's Dana's father.
Yes, that is her pops. Yeah.
Right? So, when I was working at Planet Fitness East Orange, he used to go there. And he'd be like, yo, what's up, trainer? Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Yo, man, can you get me skinny? Right? It's always very funny. That's how he talk. Shout out to Magic, right? And he always used to give me business like this. Yeah, hey, yo, trainer, look, if you want to start your own thing, all you gotta do is get a clipboard and get everybody's name. And once you get 100 names, you get your own website, and you can have your own thing. You're better than this, right? He used to push me like that.
Yeah.
So a couple things he taught me that's very evident. It works because look at Dana and and Donnell.
Yeah.
Because he mentored Donnell, right?
Mhm.
He got stuff. Donnell got stuff from his mother, but Magic 10x'd it.
Yeah.
So that's the man you see there because of Magic, right?
Yep.
I was training him. He was running a marathon. He was like, yo, trainer, we got to get up at like 4 in the morning, come to my house at like 6, and I'm going to run and you ride the bike. And we run all the way to Union, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be riding the bike, getting him through it, whatever. He's like, yo, you can train my daughter too. She want to do kickboxing. She never did it. It's all right. You doing your thing now, right? But he took the time. He took the time to mentor me, and they opened their house to me, right? And we watched I think Mayweather Pacquiao's house. Trainer, that thing was trash. You a boxer? What you think about this? Right? But I saw the mascot, the things that he would. They would be in the basement, and if he wasn't in it, somebody was in the mascot. So like, they had all that going on.
Yeah.
But what he used to do, to the point, right? I'm saying all this to get to the point. He said, hey, yo, and this is when he wasn't doing his Uncle Magic, but he said, yo, trainer, look. Every morning, me and my family, that was Dana, her sister, anybody in that house, we get up at 5 in the morning and we have a family meeting.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I got rules in my house. He said, if you have a job, you have to have the job so that you can steal the information and start your own business.
Yep.
Number one. Number two, you gotta have a business and you gotta contribute to the household.
Mm-hmm.
He said, before I buy a house anywhere, I check the average income. Right? He used to live close by. And he said, the only reason I live here so I can invest in what we're going to do later.
Yep.
And they bought a mansion. And, right, I'm not going to share too much of their business, right?
Yeah.
But he was saying all that, and to see where everything that was just said here, they literally did it, right? Like how you said, I watched to see if you're going to do what you say you're going to do. Yo, they literally did that. The other side of entrepreneurship, too, is what you do in between those dips. Yo, they started a security business. He got his sword. They moved to PA so they could get their gun license and stuff. And they could be in between time to fill in the gaps. And recently I saw Magic back on the, yo, I got a video game truck, yo, hire me, I'm just me, hey kids,
he gonna get it by any means.
Right? And I hit him up, I was like, yo, Magic, how we booked the game truck? He said, call the number.
I like Tyson.
Yeah, right? He's from Brooklyn, right? But the main point is to what you guys were saying, he would have the family meetings. And that's a culture we got to take on. We got to have the family meetings, right? And talk about it. And well, my parents didn't do it. Okay, so what? Ain't you a parent now?
That's true. That's
right. We have a new normal. That's something I've been saying recently. We've got a new normal. The flies is popping off.
I used to love the sound. I love it. Like,
I love the sound.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, funny story. We were out here for my birthday, and one got caught up, and it lit on fire. I was like, damn, they got it right now. It was so funny. I was cracking up. Anyway,
that's my favorite thing.
Saturday. It was like a birthday candle, right? It was so funny. Anyway, birthday candles. So, what I've been saying is, where we're at in this space, like it's good to be our age, right? Right? It's good to be our age because we have wisdom. And we're able to talk about the new normal. And we're able to rewrite the narrative, right? And I don't know who I was joking with. I was like, look, we can't keep going back to the days of Martin Luther King. If all our memories, all our reference points are from when TVs were in black and white, maybe we need to rethink this. Because we've got people that we watched grow up, like Jay-Z, that did the thing, right? We've got people like Drake that's the same age that like did it at a high level, just follow the pathway to success. Even our politicians. Look, right? The mayor, we talk about mentorship. I'm going to transition now. You can get around these people. You gotta ask the right questions, bro.
That's a fact.
You gotta ask the right questions. Yo, man, how can I get $100? Yo, don't ask him that. He tells us at the men's meeting, right? Remember? He was there yelling at them. Pretty much like, stop asking me about that. We're in a new space now.
Exactly.
Y'all stuck, right? I remember one of the questions I asked him, because everybody want to take a picture. Shout out Mayor Baraka. I was like, if I were to read one book, what book should I read? And he looked at me, he's like, that's not a normal question. He looked, how Europe underdeveloped Africa. I'll never forget that. Right? Another key moment. This is when he first became mayor.
I'm gonna go check that book out.
There you go, right? Yeah, you gotta read, like my wife said. Listen to my wife, she's smart. Right? And first time I met him, not the first time I met him, first time he was mayor, we had like an interaction that made sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and you'll know what I mean when I tell the story. I'm at the Hain and Cole building when it first was developed. Everybody's hanging there, so everybody was there. I'm about to go inside just to see who's there. It's like they hang out, right? And he's walking in. So what do? You hold the door for the mayor.
Absolutely.
You don't be like, right? I held the door for him. Security came in. And I asked the right question. I said, well, if you're here, something must be going on. What's going on? And he looked at me like this. And he's like, come on. Just come on.
Yeah.
So I'm in there walking with him, like I'm part of the team and all that, right? And we go upstairs. I wrote this proposal for something. I won't get into that. And he's putting the microphone on his shirt. He's getting all mic'd up. I was like, I wrote this proposal. And I was going to try to get it to your office. He looked at me. He said, do you have it? And I said, yeah. He said, all right, go get it. I'm going on stage in 20 minutes. Come bring it to me. Man, I tried to play it cool. I walked out. I backed out real slow, like, yeah. Once nobody could see me, jetted to the car and I got it for him.
Yeah.
But when you get around people who can mentor you, you gotta ask the right question. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be a photo op, and you should take the photo, but it's a moment to build a relationship, right? Like, you ask the right question, but it's building relationship. They'll never forget that you asked the right question. Oh, you the young guy that asked me this. Are you the young lady that said that? I'll never forget that. Okay, now come to the office. Okay, now let me mentor. Okay, you in the room, yo, sit in the front row. Right? And that eventually gets you to where you're trying to go. Right? But now that we're having this conversation about meetings, this is a family meeting that they're getting to watch on YouTube. Yeah. Right? But it's like all those little gems, we have to build the new normal.
Got to.
You got to get out of Newark, Zamaya. You got to get out of Newark. Right? Because there's other things, even other cultures, like you being mentored by the Jewish lawyer. A lot of us think, oh, you know, white people don't like us, and a lot of people don't like you. And it doesn't. And they're not all white either. Some of them are Indian, some of them are white, some of them's your sister, your brother, your parents don't like you sometimes. Yeah. Right? Like speaking as a parent, right? It ain't about being liked. It's about getting information. Thank you, my man. Right? It's about getting information. And sometimes a person who looks nothing like you will give you all the information just because you stepped outside your circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a new normal. Like, you got to get out of Newark, bro. Like, you got to get out the hood. Like, it's comfortable there, but what is that getting you?
Yep. You said one word that really kicked off, and it's relationships. A lot of times people don't understand, and I'm going to be honest, especially our people, the power of relationships. Like, I'm able to do what I do now is because of the fact that what you said, stepping out of Newark, and then understanding relationships. Yeah. So like, I spent a large portion of my 20s just going to New York, attending top tier events from big businesses, meeting the CEOs, vice presidents, getting their email contact, and always keeping up that standard relationship with them, sending them gifts and things from other clients, arranging business meetings and lunches and stuff like that. A lot of times people don't even know that so many deals get closed at Starbucks over coffee and lunch. And I had to witness this. Basketball games, like
courts,
pickleball, and that's one reason why I was so interested in becoming a publicist, and knowing the power of what relationships can do. Yes. And people don't understand, like, how are you able to do this if you don't have the money? I'm like, it's the relationships. I don't have to have, like, people think that, like, money is the only form of monetary, and it's not. Yeah. Relationships come way before that. One time I had to go to California, and I had needed some clothes, and I didn't have enough to buy. But guess what? I had a relationship with the artist by the name of Unicorn, who had a brand, who provided me with some clothes. You know what I mean? And I didn't have to pay. That was because of having a good, solid relationship. Yeah. So sometimes we think about we have to just go and you have to pay and spend, but not realizing when you have good, solid relationships and you do good business, what is the major outcome from that?
I want to add to that. A lot of people say it's not what you know, but it's who you know. Who you know. But what a confirmation. Let me add something to that, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know, but it's how you know them. Yeah. Right? Because you can have relationships, you have a bad relationship, right? Like, there's context to each one, right? You can have a bad, I was just schooling somebody to something, because we got into politics, but there's really this light that's attracting them. They're having a great relationship with this Zachary. And with this young man, we were talking about politics, and he said about a particular mayor that last time he saw them, they were kind of treating him funny. And I said, let me ask you a question. In the last election, were you around XYZ person? Oh yeah, I said, and that was their competition, right? And it was hot, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like,
that's right. It's the dynamic.
Right? It's the dynamic. I'm like, you can't unknow who you know, but you gotta, when certain things come up, and really when you're political, right? Or if you look at the Drake-Kendrick beef and how it's unfolded now, the Iceman era, right? What Drake is calling out, he's basically saying, you didn't pick a side, and when they were saying this about me, you were over there, but there ain't no coming back from that now because of what they said. You know what I'm saying? So now, like everybody's getting roasted, right? And so you have to be very careful as much as possible. Sometimes it's not easy. You have to be.
It's like playing chess. You got to be mindful of your relationships, right?
You got to be mindful of what you're close to.
Yeah, like we just had a big election in Newark, right?
Yep.
Certain individuals didn't get along with certain individuals.
Yep.
If you were close to certain individuals that didn't get along with certain individuals that ended up, winning or vice versa, that's going to affect your relationship with the said individual regardless of how it goes. Because at the end of an election, everybody has to work together anyway.
Yes.
But in the back of their mind, it's like, yo, you were complicit in trying to tear me down, or you did not have my back.
Right.
Others were trying to tear me down, and people remember that, right? And so it's relationships, but it's also understanding the dynamics.
Yeah.
It's just keeping it professional.
Yeah, keeping it professional and not crossing, not crossing individuals, not leaving a sour taste in people's mouths when you come around. You can have a great relationship and take advantage of it, and they'll be like, "Oh man, that's the one who did something crazy last year."
Yeah.
You know.
Or he was standing with that person. My wife knows. In certain things we were doing professionally a couple years ago, we were very particular about pictures and stuff like that. And that's the reason why, right? Because optics can be everything. And so, like, I might be friendly with somebody off camera, but it may not be good for the dynamics of what has to go on paper for everybody to eat. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you have to be careful with that. And that's a whole nother class. We don't got to get into that. But it's not just what you know or who you know, it's how you know them. And it's so important. It's how you approach people, right? It's what you say to them. It's your appearance, right? We held an event in New York City a time ago, and I felt the way because I was the project manager, and like some of the people like they were like sagging and stuff. I was like, bruh, right? Like, and that even goes back to leadership. Like, you got to be aligned. Like, you got to disseminate that information. Like, yo, this is how we got to be. And you talked about it on our interview earlier. Like, you got to go from homie mode to like boss mode, because you could mess up the bag just with appearance.
That's right.
Just off the appearance.
That's
like
right.
you drop, right? You drop in the bag from the first 3 seconds somebody's judging you. Especially being black is still part of our dynamic. So when you go somewhere, like, you got to be suit and tie.
You got to,
you got to present a certain way.
Matters.
It doesn't hurt to go see the dentist.
That's the truth.
Right? Like have a piece of gum. My wife is really good about that. Always got a piece of gum. Always fixing herself. But look, I took subtle keys of that. I'm like, you know what? I need to start carrying gum. Now, Phoenix is a student of that. Now she's always carrying gum.
Because you do have to be strategic. You're not offending people. But to what you just said, right? I just want to add to that. Even with strategy and like just self-awareness, there's a missing dynamic. But to everything that you guys said, the presentation, we've had to separate ourselves from friends that we had because of how they present themselves in other spaces, right? And so as you start to escalate or elevate, or you have a brand and you have a specific thing, there's certain things we just don't want to be associated with.
That's right.
And so some of that, and I feel like as you start to grow too, it doesn't even have to do with business. I think that happens as you start to mature in your own self. You start realizing certain things no longer serves you. And you do have to make a pivot. And I think sometimes we stay kind of connected too long to things that don't serve us, and it ends up costing us. Right? You talk about opportunity cost. It can cost us in so many ways when we just don't know it's time to separate. And we've had to do that with friends who they present a certain way or they do business a certain type of way, and it doesn't align with how we do business integrity-wise or how they're presenting. Even on their social media pages. That's a big deal.
That's another thing,
If you are scantily clad or you are just doing certain things that doesn't align with how we live our life, we can't continue with that.
Absolutely.
Because as grown people in our 40s with children and businesses, there's a way you have to conduct yourself. And if somebody has to tell you that, or you don't have a self-awareness, or you don't care, we can't be aligned with that. Because the minute somebody sees us with you, then there's that guilt by association, and that will cause us, things. We also have young people that we are raising.
Yes.
That's important because we're teaching them how to be choosy about their friends,
Yeah.
how to be selective about what environments they're in, and you said your grandfather always says more is caught than what is taught. Oh, we got some confirmation. More is caught than what is taught. Kids don't do what we say; they do what we do. So they are looking at what we're doing, and that's what they're going to emulate. That's what's going to last the longest. Right, they're looking at us like, oh, you telling me don't have these friends. And we've had these conversations with Phoenix. And she's like, I think grown-ups are hypocrites. They say, oh, you can come to me. And she's made that like a general thing too. Like, grown-ups will say, you can come to me, it's a safe space. But then also in the same breath, they'll say children should be seen and not heard. And I'm like, that's a fair point, right? We're giving two different messages. So that's what children are picking up. They're looking at our behavior and they're saying, oh, you want me to have these type of friends, but I see the kind of friends you have. So I'm not listening to you because you're a hypocrite. Right? So even that's important, how we're presenting, how we're walking, how we're talking. If we're now saying to somebody, because we are in leadership role, whether you're leading as a father, leading as a husband, leading as a wife, we're in leadership roles in different spaces. People are looking to us even when we don't know it. Right, they're looking at what we do more than what we say, and they are looking and listening to what we say to see, does that line up? Does that line up?
I wanted to bounce off what you both said about what representation. So like earlier this week, it was news about the HBCU, what was it, Tuskegee. They're banning bonnets and do-rags in the classrooms.
Good.
And that's perfect. That's great. Now, I would say when I was in my 20s, like early 20s, I would say, nah, what? I wear a do-rag, but when you get older and you really, that was for the inside to lay down the braids, your twist, and that was it. I was not allowed. My grandfather said, you're going to take that do-rag. To walk in the stores with pajama pants on and bonnets, and then you're wondering why form of a wife, and then as a black brother, walking with your pants sagging and stuff like that, and you could be the most, and you could be educated, right? But in certain ways, but that doesn't. That right there just erases everything that was taught, because you can be educated and not have class.
Yes.
You can
Like,
go
that's
to
a part of
school, but you
etiquette,
can't buy class.
And I was going to jump onto that. A lot of people think what's plaguing us is racism and prejudice.
No.
But it's classism. And
That's
those with power and assets want to keep everyone below separated, clueless, uneducated, uninformed, or misinformed. How do you do that? All right, let's make TV shows of them acting crazy seem like that's the norm, and we'll give them a lot of money to act crazy, so that more of them will want to act crazy, so that they will aspire to look like Zeus Network. No offense to Zeus Network, I like Zeus Network. But
That's who's paying for it.
in case they want to
But what I'm saying is, we have these certain behaviors that don't serve us business-wise or wealth-wise. It only serves us in the moment to have some fun and to get some popularity and attention. Attention don't pay the bills.
The worst part is that the younger generation is looking at these shows, and because they're popular, they feel like if I act like this makes me cool. So it's just ruining the future adults.
So
that's why we got to come snatch them up and help them out. Especially when you're young enough. Right? I'm sorry to cut you. We're young enough where a young person will look at you and you're cool. You young and you're cool, so you're somebody that a young person will look at and they want to be like that, because you're not that. Our age gap, or even if our age gap is there, we're still kind of cool, right? So we can still holler at them and be like, let me tell you what's really cool though, and then they will listen.
I was going to say, one of the advantages that we do have of people of our generation, we're the first generation, I think, where the parents and the kids embrace the same culture.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prior to that, our parents listened to our music and said, "Oh, that's the devil's music."
Yes.
Their parents listened to their music and said, "Oh, that's the." And everything,
Everybody's listening to the devil's music.
every younger generation, that's the devil's music. That's the devil's
That's
touch.
true. That's
We,
true.
we are the first generation where from the almost from grandparent to grandson, the same culture
That's true.
is embraced.
No, that's
You can play
true.
house music.
Yeah.
Grandparent to grandson will listen to it.
true.
You can play rap music.
That's true.
Grandparent to grandson will listen to it. You can wear Gucci. Grandparent to grandson will. The culture is so
That's true.
we're at an advantage leadership wise because we can still appeal to our youth because we started what they see as cool,
That's good.
right?
Yeah.
That's good.
We're indoctrinated in the hip hop culture because we were born in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, where the culture started.
Yeah.
So we can communicate with our kids, and we should actually take advantage of the fact that we're all of the same culture and be like, listen, we understand it's cool to dress like that.
Yes.
We'll do that at the parties though. While we're handling business, when you step out the house, ain't no pajama pants outside,
None of them.
no bonnets on your head.
Right.
Pull your Timberland boots every here and there,
Yeah.
but look neat, look presentable. Because at the end of the day, the only thing cooler than looking cool is having the money and the assets to actually afford to be cool.
Right.
Because when you can afford it, then you could. How many of these billionaires you see dressed so sloppy
Yes,
and don't care?
yes.
Because they can afford to do that.
Yes.
They can afford that.
You can afford to be sloppy. Right.
That's a fact. That is a
The,
fact.
the only thing cooler than aspiring to look like that or trying to look like you are a Chanel model or whatever is actually having those resources to where you can send somebody to Chanel for you
Let's go.
and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to say this to the camera. We should take advantage of the fact that we are in a generation where we are all of the same culture currently.
Yes.
From grandfather to grandson, we all enjoy TikTok,
Yeah.
YouTube, the same shows.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that is because there hasn't been a time in history where that synergy has been there.
This is a very unique time to be us. I'm
Yes.
telling you, I
It
think
is.
it's wonderful. We have so many things we can take advantage of, and that we have the ability to literally, like you said, rewrite the narrative and just change because of exactly what you just said.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you haven't said a lot of stuff.
She likes to take stuff in.
Angie's observed everything. Angie's
That's good.
Yeah, she takes stuff
very
in.
smart woman.
She's like a sponge.
But I enjoyed this conversation.
I really kept talking. I didn't want to just be like, ah.
Well, let me ask you this, because you do reporting, and I was looking at your thing, right? Tell me what you do.
Well, for the content creation, yeah, it's satire, it's humor.
Oh.
You know, he helps me write most of the scripts.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's basically what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. But in my 9 to 5, I work in healthcare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she's actually a film director in real life. Like she's amazing behind the camera, editing, all that. Yeah.
So I've always been behind the camera, you know, so I got in front of the camera, not exactly the way I wanted to get in front of the camera, which I fight him all the time on, but that's just the character we made up. Someone that's naive. Well, she's not being funny on purpose. It's supposed to just come off funny because she's supposed to be ditzy and bougie. So that's the character we made up, and she reports the news in a humorous way because she's saying everything wrong. So people are like, what is she saying? You know, it's kind of like getting an emotional uproar from the audience so they could engage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you come up with that concept?
Well, it all started with, so one night I heard someone say the J. And I was like, oh, what's that? What's the J? And he was like, oh, you haven't heard of that yet? And I was like, no, what is that? And he was like, that's what they're calling New Jersey. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I went ahead and made a video.
But I didn't tell her.
He didn't tell me the controversy
I
behind
didn't
it.
tell her that the person who said it was getting roasted. Like people hated it.
So nice, right? So nice. Like he was just saying, like it's very important how you appear on the internet, you know. But whatever, it happened. So I made a video and I said, oh, the new thing is to call New Jersey the J. So whenever someone asks you where you're from, you're gonna say I'm from the J, because you're gonna remember that moment. Like the person that's speaking to you, they're gonna remember like what's the J, and you're gonna say New Jersey, and now they're gonna go tell their friend, oh, they're calling New Jersey the J, you know. So So I posted this, and then the blogs picked it up, and everyone was going crazy, like, no, New Jersey's not the J. They wanted to DP me. I'm like, what does DP mean? He told me what DP meant, which
I don't know what DP
they want to hit me.
It's like discipline for gang members.
Oh,
yes.
I just learned something new today.
Yeah,
you're gonna get packed out.
Turning it down.
Yeah,
Okay.
So then I got extremely upset, and then I told him, did you know about this? And he was like, yeah. So I had a whole anxiety attack.
Oh no.
I went under my blanket, started crying. Yeah, and he's laughing the entire time. And I'm like, how are you my protector? And you're letting me embarrass
Free
myself.
boxing lessons for Angie.
Right.
Boxing lessons.
So then he was like, we should take advantage of this moment, that all eyes are on me, and we should continue to create similar content based off of how I came off in that video, which was naive. You know? So then we kept going. A lot of the videos I wasn't too fond of, but we're in this, and soon we're going to be rebranding. But there's like a good amount of videos left to post that we haven't posted from even last year. We have Redman, we have Tretch, we have a whole lot of celebrities and just, you know, average people. So like once we get those videos off, we're gonna start rebranding. So it's like still funny but more serious interviews, you know, more like still funny but taking me a little bit more serious, you know.
So you know how you talk about professional development?
Yes.
So I don't have like emotion. So when she said anxiety attack, I don't know what anxiety is. I had no idea what she was going through or talking about.
But I'm gonna interrupt you. So for an example, there's sometimes he doesn't want to post a picture or a video because he looks a certain way or he's coming off a certain way.
Yeah.
And I've always been behind the camera, and the majority of my father's side of the family, they're master's degree holders. So they raised me a certain type of way. So if they were to see my online content, I would be in trouble, right? They would look down upon me like, what is this? And they would probably hate him, honestly. But so there's times where he doesn't even want to post something, and then he says the reasoning why he doesn't want to post it, and then it pisses me off because I'm like, so you're letting me get on this internet looking a damn fool, but you don't, because you look a certain way or you look a little bit too goofy, you don't want to put it on the internet. So that's why I'm saying after we get these videos off, I'm changing my whole brand.
So let me tell you, hold on, let me backtrack. So the thing with the J is that, right, this one letter, this was early 2025, this in the 2024, early 2025 when she did the J content, right? She only did it for 4 weeks. Till this day, celebrities are walking up to her. Oh, you're Angie Morenaaa from the J. Like, you made a brand. And that's one thing I know brand.
That's not how I want, but okay.
She made a brand, and I'm like, yo, the trajectory, if you looked at the analytics of her page from when she started.
I'm doing 500,000 right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's because of the interviews.
Views?
The interviews.
You're doing 500,000 in
Like
views?
on my professional dashboard, it says 500,000.
Good.
Yeah. But back then she was.
But in views or in followers?
No, my following is like almost 7K. It's 60.
So she had a low following with 500,000 in
So you have a
engagement,
high insight.
which is through the roof.
That's great.
Not only that, celebrities are contacting her. I'm talking about the amount of people that were contacting her were people that artists worked their whole life to get these people's attention, and they were just coming to her because of the content.
Because of the views I was getting. So for an example, back in the day, companies and businesses, they were very hell-bent on, oh, we can't associate with these people because they're doing this and the fourth. Nowadays, they only care about views. So Sexy Red, they're going to give her a campaign.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to explain to him. I'm not the type of person that I'm just going to shake ass for views, like figuratively. So that's what I was explaining to them. They're coming to me because they want the views.
You don't want to be pimped out.
Exactly. And I also said that to him too.
No.
So, you see?
I get what you're saying.
But so that's why I want to continue interviewing, because I do enjoy that, and I do enjoy making people laugh, you know. And it is funny when I like the content, like the video. If I put out a video that I like, and there's certain people that don't understand that I'm being humorous, like it's okay, because most of the people are understanding that. But when I'm being very outlandish, and like people are just like saying like the harshest things to me, it does get to me. And because he doesn't understand emotion, he's like, I guess, emotionally unavailable or something. He doesn't know how to support me emotionally. So when I come to him and I'm like, oh my God, like, look at the feedback I'm getting. We need to change something. He tells me, ignore it. It's okay. You know? And then he's in the comments cracking up when the comments are making me feel a certain type of way. You know?
Oh, that's
so
us in the comments, me and you, right? All the
Listen,
time.
I'm
I'm so sorry.
I am a content
Let me tell you
comedian.
something. When I get hate
I should get
comments,
awards for my comments.
I ignore bad comments all the time.
Yeah.
I ignore them. Sometimes.
It's easy for you to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, very easy because it
But you
doesn't.
could stand on what you're putting out.
Because he's from Illtown. Let's talk
But
about
he
it.
could, but he could stand on what he's putting out. He
Yeah.
loves his content. Whatever content he's putting out, he's proud of it. So if
Yes.
people talk crap about it, it's easy for him to ignore it. But I'm being a whole other persona, a whole other
That's true.
character, and people think it's really me.
People be like, that guy
So
looks
that's-
like a girl. They say that all the time. I don't get mad.
Okay,
Can-
But I see what you're saying.
But I get
though,
what she's
right?
coming from,
Your
yeah.
point,
Always
because
disregarding me.
it's your thing that you're doing, and so if you're doing it, then you're gonna stand behind it because you're proud of it. But it's not
Exactly.
necessarily your
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's just something that now took off, and you're leveraging that opportunity. But that's not how you want to do it. Is that correct?
So because it's another character, it's another persona, it's not necessarily me. I'm putting out a character. So there's a lot of people that believe I'm really this person. So even they'll come up to me in person and they'll talk to me as if I am this actual character, like this ditzy, like
Oh my gosh.
bougie person.
Sort of like George Costanza from Seinfeld.
That's
He
so
can't shake the character.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. So, like, there was this one
That's
time I was at a party and a girl, like, the J doesn't, I don't really care about the J. People could be mad about that all day, but there's, like, other mentality parts that people think that's really my mentality, that it's so annoying when people come up to me and I have to, like, straighten them out. Like, excuse me, it's a character. Like, you need to calm down. Like, this girl checked me and she was like, oh, we're not saying the J. And I was like, I'm going to say the J. You don't have to say the J. And then she just walked off. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And people also want any reason to be mad now. So
But
if
you
anything
know what happens
will
sometimes?
trigger
Sometimes
them. That's crazy.
something takes off unexpectedly, and it's like, how can we make this momentum or shift it in a way where we can capitalize on it, but you don't lose who you are? And that's basically what happened and what we were trying to figure out. It's like,
But I like
this,
the direction we're going in.
Yeah, it
Like,
took
we're
off.
getting better
but it took off fast.
for me.
So we had to figure out, okay, how can we shape this character and shape this narrative in a way where it's still entertaining, but you're not misrepresenting who you are, who you really are.
That's actually really good, and I think that with the rebranding, is that a concern for you?
I mean, for me, I don't care. To me, I don't care if a character gets roasted, but she does. Yeah. So it's not really. I would rather, if it makes her more comfortable to rebrand as something that's true to herself, then that's what it is. I'm cool with that. But me personally, I would have ran with
The forward-facing videos where we do like send out information in a humorous way, I'm okay with that part. So we could continue doing that, but when I'm asking interview questions, I just want them to be better.
Okay.
You know, like be more in depth, ask better questions. Like I don't want to just be like, oh, what's your favorite Jersey Club song? What is your favorite house song? Like I want to. Like I was telling him, I want to categorize everything. Like, if I'm going to interview a rapper, I need a list of questions that I could ask a rapper so that while I'm speaking to him, I have already questions that I could apply to this rapper, like whatever I see fit, you know? So I'm prepared, because a lot of this is on the fly. We see people and we're like, oh, we should go interview him, you know? So it's like, I need to be prepared. So that's basically what it is. The rebranding is going to be being prepared, so I don't look unprepared on camera.
And a lot of this for her was trial by fire because she was always behind the camera. So it's not easy to know how to talk to people in interview. It's something you have to learn how to. And that's not even something you can be taught. That's something that has to come through. Through practice, over and over. Even me talking on camera. Yeah. It's because I was a debate champion. I talked for a long time to know how to, shift and guide conversation and speak a certain way and what not to say on camera. But for somebody who's brand new, she's doing an amazing job at navigating, because who goes from behind the camera to now you're talking to top tier celebrities who want to talk to her like, so it's a learning curve, but we make the best of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, celebrities don't intimidate me. They're just regular people to me. I am not a starstruck type of person. I don't idolize anyone. So, but at the same time, it's a lot of pressure and heat because there's a lot of eyes on them. And if I go and I ask them like a question that's not worth it, people are just gonna be like, "So you had an opportunity to interview this person, and what did you ask them?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes sense. No, that makes sense.
I understand. Like when I'm doing like public speaking stuff, like IPF stuff like that I've done, I like to be like grossly prepared, like stupid prepared, like war ready prepared because of who I'm speaking to and where I'm speaking, right? Versus like I'll walk up to somebody on the street just ask a bunch of questions because I don't care, right? But it's in that moment. It's the birthday candle. It's in that moment. So I'm just getting to learn the person. But when I know I'm not just representing myself, I'm representing whatever group that I'm with, right? Or consulting for, whatever you want to call it. It's about being prepared, you know. But a lot of people that are usually behind the camera, some of them don't like being in front of the camera. There's a personality thing there. But then you can be developed, like, some things just natural. Like, naturally, you probably just, boom, right? Like, when I was a kid, Michael Jackson was it, and I was moonwalking in the middle of the dance floor. Personality thing, but some of that still had to be developed, right? In business rooms and having mentors, and they're guiding me or forcing me to get up and speak. William, right? And learning how to navigate objections on the fly or be in the front of the room and then getting comfortable with it and then going from somebody else's content to then creating my own content where I have more creative control, where I ask questions I want and then I'm inquisitive in between, and to just be totally vulnerable. Like what you see me doing now, I don't want to say it's rebellious to everything else, but I understood that I need to control my own narrative and be more intentional about it because I know what's on the other side, right? Like I know
being innovative.
It's being innovative, but I know I need to not be somebody else's character. Like I've got my alignments, but it's like, yo, this is my thing, and I'm not taking no shorts on that. Like, I ask questions a certain way for a certain reason. There's certain things we're not uncovering. There was a public speaking engagement I did recently enough. I'm looking to make sure the phone doesn't die. Recently enough, where I wrote it a certain way, and then we rewrote it. No slights to my partners, like never, right? But I knew in my heart of hearts, after I delivered that speech, that the first one was the better one. That this is what we needed today. And it wasn't that. Like, it was good, but we needed something else. And I decided from that moment that this moment was going to happen eventually. Like, I'm doing my thing. Right? Even what we talked about a moment ago, like, as entrepreneurs, right? Nobody gets those conversations. We don't talk about relationships. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. We don't have those conversations, right? You see the front part. And so for the person who's 16, 14, 20, right? Because 20-year-old, like, right? You're not even there yet.
I don't
right?
know what 20-year-olds be thinking these days.
Yo, they be thinking. They still vaping, right? That's a whole nother thing. But they're like they're not thinking.
I expect
right?
them to be mature, and they kind of act 16. I don't.
At
What's going on with 20-year-olds?
No, so real quick, when I was going to therapy, I did therapy for 5 years. One of the best decisions of my life, right? If you haven't been, you should, right? Okay. I asked him a question, and I said, Ed, is it safe to say that if I'm talking to my daughter, right, and she's maybe 10 at that age, I don't know, and I say, hey, look, is it safe to say that when I'm speaking to a 10-year-old, I'm not speaking to a 10-year-old, I'm talking to the past 3 years that 10-year-old has experienced? He said, yes. So when you're talking to a 20-year-old, you're talking to the 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old version of them.
Yeah.
Like what I was saying to you before about me being 40 and what I was saying to Stacy is like, you're talking to a version of me that's totally different. Like my responses at this age are so different because I'm back cycling 35 and all this new information at 40. You know, like there's a lot of new things for me to consider now that I couldn't consider then. And then all the decisions that might have been good that I'm trying to take that information and make something out of it. So when you're talking to somebody 20, you're talking to a 15-year-old that's processed at 16, 17, 18, 19, right? They're like still processing that. Then when they hit 21, they can actually drink for real. Totally different process. 35, totally different process. And then when you get to this age, now you're probably married, totally different decision making.
Yep.
Because you're making a decision based on how you got to show up for two people, right? When you get married, two become one and all that other stuff, right? To become flesh of my flesh, blood,
Or
right?
you probably have children if you're not married, so you're still making a decision.
You still make a decision,
yourself.
right? So the whole purpose of this, why I have to control my narrative, is because I'm not just a business owner. I'm not just a consultant. I'm a husband, right? We're property owners. We're parents. Community leaders, right? You know, at 40, I'm feeling things I never felt before. My knee be hurting, right? So like, my decision making, right?
For no reason.
For no freaking reason, right? And it's like, you gotta have, but then you're still a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm still a human being. The emotions, the feelings, they happen. And I feel like it would be robbery of me to be somebody with that level of emotional intelligence to not share that, to not talk about that, because everybody sees the picture. They didn't see how many stances you had to take to get the freaking picture. Okay? And it's not authentic. It's not real. You got to be honest about what it takes behind the scenes.
Yep.
Right behind the scenes. Because when you sit down with somebody, they're going to want to know what that's like. How do you navigate that? How could I be a consultant of business owners if we can't talk about their marriage?
Yep.
We can't talk about their parenting. You know, oh, it's not business, it's personal. I'm going to ask for a pardon and excuse me from the people of the faith that know me, and right, that's bullshit, okay? You've got to be honest, all right? You've got to be honest, right? You've got to be honest. That is not real. What happens at home affects what happens in your business.
Right. Yep. Right.
It affects your business, okay? So you got to be real about that, right? You got to be real about that. That's important.
That's why a lot of high-level business meetings, they want to have dinner with you and your wife.
Yes.
Come over your house.
Yes.
Invite you to their house. You go to their house. They show off what we built. Look at our togetherness. Look at our cohesiveness.
Yep.
Then they want to go to your house and see how cohesive.
How you living?
Yeah.
Yes. Because how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yep.
And that's a fact. People think that we can compartmentalize, but to your point, right? The business is your personal life, your person, all of the things, how you operate is what then drives everything else. That the byproduct of all of that comes from who you are when you're not in the business.
Yep.
And that's a fact. That's how you're showing up. So it is important to know about the whole person. And I think to the beginning of this, that's what people are missing, right? We've had tons of podcasts and tons of this about this and this and this. But now people want to know, are we talking about the stuff that's affecting us for real? Not the facade stuff, not the when you in your suit, like the stuff people are really struggling with now. A lot of mental health issues, a lot of things with their kids, sexuality, all of the things that are really impacting us on a day-to-day basis. That's what people want. They don't want all of this fluff. They really want you in your house, in your backyard, not in some studio dressed up. They want to know how you living.
Yeah.
Who are you? Because that's what people are doing business with, right? People are doing business with people who they like, they know, they trust. They see you enough, they feel they know you. They build trust. But now it's not just about what you're selling me, what you're showing me, what you're marketing to me. What is it like when you're home? Do you have a dog? What's your life like with your kids when they acting up? What are you doing day to day? They don't want to see you with all the makeup.
Yep.
They need to see you with the bonnet in the house. Right? They need to see you so they can see themselves in you.
I don't know if I was at YouTube Studios or a TikTok event, and they were like, they tell their top content creators, the ones that do content in the house with like the family creators, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They specifically tell them, don't wear name brands, don't get dressed up, don't get over makeup. Look as sweatpants and t-shirt regular as you can.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went and started watching like the TikToks of like the top creators.
Yeah.
If you watch the way they present,
Yes.
they want to be as homely as possible because us as viewers want to know that, okay, I'm not the only one living like this.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one going through this. This
Yeah.
is what everybody's doing.
Yes.
Yes.
They say don't spruce up your house, leave everything the way it is,
Keep all
right.
keep
And
those
just-
stuff on the floor.
yes, yes,
'Cause that's
and
how
just-
you really living.
and just record like that.
Yeah.
And like you said, people are more drawn to what they can relate to.
Yeah.
And most people are regular humans.
Yeah,
So we
I've
wanna see
seen
regular
people
humans.
in their bed
Oh, that
just
lady.
with the bonnet on, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I used to be like,
47,000
this is insane.
views or
They
something
have
like
the
that.
most
The mo-
views.
yeah.
Lady just rolled over,
Yeah.
didn't brush her teeth, and she's like, let me tell y'all.
Yep.
Everything looking crazy, and I'm
Camera
looking, and
fogging
it's
up.
like 50,000 views, and I'm
Getting
like,
paid
oh
for
my God, people are dressed up,
Yeah.
they're doing this, and it's like 3 people
Yeah,
looked at it.
you don't have to do it. You don't have to
It's
do all
cra-
that.
yeah, this
Buy
is the
some
truth. It is
lotion
the
or something,
truth.
yeah.
It is the truth. People just want to see authenticity because this is what they have to be able to relate to it. Oh man,
Big
that
fact.
is true.
But you know what too? Like every market's not your market. I was watching something Pastor actually said to me, and the guy said, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, right? And so you have to be specific. Like the girls that are wearing the bonnet, or some of the guys that are wearing the bonnets, right? They might be attracted to that because that's their community.
That's their community, yeah.
That's good. That's not our community, right?
Yep.
Even me recently kind of whittling down who I'm directing content to and for. Like, all are welcome if you want to join me on this journey, but I'm specifically talking to 40 and over business owners who want more confidence, want to grow their business, right? That are family people, because then we can relate,
Yeah.
right? I can relate to being 20 because I was there,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not like we're not going to have a meeting of the minds on you vaping, drinking, speeding down the block. Like, I'm not going to commiserate with you on that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you to stop it, and I'm going to take your car keys from you and take the bonnet off your head, right? Because now I'm a parent, right?
Yep.
And those perspectives change. But you got to know your market. So everybody has a market, and you got to know who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, add value, and to your point, also be authentic with that audience, right? And be very candid.
Yep.
You know, be very candid. Don't be doctored up, like you said, not with the makeup and
Well,
stuff.
that's why they have the For You page, right? They now
That's
have the hashtag because they need. That's what algorithms are about. It's a little bit of control, but
Platforms
now
lasted
the
a
people
long
who
time.
specifically are looking for you. I don't got to search for a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If I'm looking for exactly that, I can find my community because there is a community for everybody, and now they make it easier for you to find. But people do have to understand who is your market. First, you got to know like what is it that you're trying. What's the messaging?
Yeah.
What's your branding? Whatever you call it, and then you got to be very specific about your market, and then tailor your thing to the market. And I think that started changing for real estate the last couple of years. The messaging was, oh, get everybody because it's a numbers game. And then things started changing, and it's like, no. If you have the same 30 people, don't worry about these 3,000. If those are the consistent people watching you, that's the people that want to see what you have. Now you're just going to go deep and give them more of that. And that started changing, and now they have the For You page because they're realizing that's actually what we need. We need local stuff. People are looking for what is it that's happening here. What's happening in Iraq ain't affecting what I'm eating. What they doing over on South Orange Avenue? Why the stores is closed?
Yep.
Because that's what is really affecting us. So now things are becoming more localized. I want to know about the news that's happening in my neighborhood.
Same.
Because that's literally what's happening. It's cute to know about what's happening in Argentina, but you know what? What's happening outside, and that's what people are looking for, the things that impact them locally, and I think that's where we are now with everything,
That's
right?
how the
Really
algorithm
keeping
is
it
now.
like this instead of trying to do this,
Right.
because when you're doing this, the people that are looking for the funny stuff, they're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
And it's what we tell people in real estate, right? When people want to sell their house, I represent a seller, and they're like, "Yeah, I want it to go $50,000 more," and I'm like, "Yeah, we could do that, but let me tell you how that doesn't serve you, because the people looking for exactly what you have, they're gonna miss you." Because they're looking in this bracket, your thing belongs here. You line that thing up perfectly. You get what you want. They get what they want, and it's a done deal. But if you're out of alignment because you're $50,000 higher, the people that are looking in that bracket are looking at your thing and they're going, "I'm not paying $50,000 for that."
100%
You're out of alignment, right? So once we get aligned, it's a perfect marriage. I think that's where we are with things. It's really understanding ourselves, drilling down, and then going deep into that thing, and that's where we're really going to get success. And that looks different for everybody. You got to be happy with the thing that you want and be okay with your integrity and not being pimped out in whatever way. Because at the end of the day, if you're being pimped out in any way, you can get all the money and all the things. You're going to bed not feeling well. That and then again, that comes down to like what's important to you. For me now, I think for me at this age and this juncture, I say a lot of no's. No's to like opportunity. Because it's like what's it? Yeah, I'm gonna get this, but I've traded this for this, and at the end of the day, it didn't make me feel good. And
that's
I'm like,
a very good topic.
I'm good.
I should have said that. One of my biggest difficulties.
Best thing ever I had to learn.
One of my biggest difficulties have been that word no.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Saying no to people. I find that hard to do. Well, I used to find it hard to do.
That's a big thing for a lot of people.
For a lot of people like
most
that.
people are
no, and knowing when to say no, and even just saying no in general. That's a tough thing. That's a topic that I struggle with a lot.
As a yes man.
Let me tell you something. When we have more of these conversations, you will find that we're having a lot of the same struggles. We have these struggles. I did not realize for me that I was a people pleaser until I was 43. I'm 45. Like seriously, and I went to a workshop for a group I'm a part of, Property Sisters, and they brought in this coach, and I will never forget this. This was literally almost 3 years ago, and that's what changed my life. We walked in and she said, "The first thing y'all gonna learn is how to say no. Write that down." That's what we walked into, and I was like, "What?" She said, "Write down no on the top of your book or your whatever," and she said, "This is what we're gonna learn from here." And when we were finished, what we thought the presentation was going to be about, it really was about not all of that, not giving you more game about how to escalate your business and get more for no. She was like, "Let me tell you how you're going to say no, and that's actually going to get you more of what you want. The minute you lead with your no, that is what she said." Sherry Swift.
We need standards.
Lead with it. I'm telling you, so many of us didn't even know we were struggling with that problem until we got into that group. Many of us.
I said
because we don't want to make other people unhappy. We don't want to ruin a relationship. It's many of us.
We think, you know, that will destroy some sort of relationship or something, right? And I think from how we went round robin about that, I think we're all guilty of it. And I think it's a cultural thing, right? Like always saying yes because you always got to take care of the family. You got to say take care of the homies. Don't forget the homies. Okay, right? But when you really get some success, right? You see that the homie just think about himself. Or the mom, right? And I'll get biblical for 2 seconds. Jesus' mama was the brother or the sister? Brother came and he's giving this sermon. It's mad people, like a lot of people. And he's up in the house and they're like, "Oh, your mom wants to come to the front." He's like, "Who is my mother?" Right? Like, you came late. The people that wanted to be here, that wanted to be here, was already here. Matter of fact, they was early. You got to wait in the back. You can hear me from here. You got to wait in the back. And even for us, people of color, right? Black, brown, whatever, even with the relationship to religion, without all the facts, has been used to say you got to be a yes man. And that's where some of it gets tripped up because your moral compass is the compass you take into everything. Even with, "Oh, I got to be nice, oh, I got to be kind." Number one, the etymology of the word nice is foolish. So let me help you with that. It's foolish. Okay, Old English from like the 600s or whatever, look it up. So it's foolish. If you're nice, if somebody says you're nice, they're calling you a fool just by the sheer history and birth of the word, right? So that doesn't work. And that's a cultural thing. So we got to figure out how to say no. And no feels like conflict. It feels like contact. Which for me, the whole thing with boxing and stuff like that, right? It's important for me, like the conversation we were having about it, right? And for business owners, it's one-on-one training or one-on-group training. Because most people, okay, maybe you've been in a fight, but not like the same intention as a boxer.
Yeah.
And when I've trained people, the first thing I learned is they're not used to contact. Like you ever go like to dap somebody up, like it gets weird, like you missed the handshake. It's like, how do I do this? Because they're not used to. Now imagine a fight where you got to be in close quarters, right? And you got to wrestle with somebody. You're like, I'm not used to being like. It's always about keeping away. Like see those street fights, they fight like this.
Yeah.
They don't even want to get close to win the fight.
Yeah.
Right? But you look at the MMA
hit.
guys, they all up on you.
Yeah.
Right? But it's effective because they get used to contact. No feels like contact, feels like impact. And the reason why it's so important to learn how to make contact is when it's time to say no, you're not afraid.
Yeah, because you know what it feels like.
That's true.
You don't feel like it. Like we feel like it's war or death. It's a fight or death, which most people are not comfortable with.
Yeah.
And the types of people that are good with that, veterans, maybe some doctors, because of tableside manner, they're like, no, I'm not prescribing you that because it's going to kill you, fool. Right? Fighters, people who play contact sports, football players, stuff like that. And those high-level CEOs, they've developed that because they've had to. And it's been coaching and books that they read, things of that nature. 48 Laws of Power, to name one of a few. Saying no, the power of no. Right? Isn't that a book? Or Lead What You Know. You read that book?
No, the woman said Lead What You Know, but there's a couple of other books that talks about boundary settings, but the boundary setting is harder than just reading a book, right?
Yes.
And to your point, you can be a fighter and still be an enabler.
That's right.
So I fought a lot, and conflict has never been an issue for me.
Yeah.
I will tell you how I feel, and I stand on business. But what I didn't know was the enabling looks different in different ways too, right? And what you speak about with success, especially for people that come from families that maybe didn't have a whole lot, when you are the one that's successful or you're the one that has the resources, right? You feel compelled to giving people stuff. And what I learned is that even if you don't have a whole lot, right, but you're in a position to help somebody, and you're constantly the one in the position to help somebody, and you keep doing that, you teach people learn helplessness. And that's enabling. So you can mean well, right? But if you don't say no, because when you need it, you're never going to be able to go to that person because they've never been put in a position to have to go be resourceful like you. They're going to resent you anyway. It's the conflict that you try to avoid. It's going to happen anyway. It's going to confront you if you don't confront it. And that's what I've learned in my life. So you can have all of that because there are people that's the boundary setting is literally about guilt. It's about I don't want to not tell you, or I want to avoid pain. I want to avoid not losing the relationship. I want to avoid not pissing you off. It's all of those things that inevitably will happen anyway. So we end up creating these codependent relationships for people. We end up really robbing them of the opportunity to go out and be resourceful also. And then where it really hurts us, and this was for me, is that when you need somebody, not even for resources, just maybe to talk to, they're only using you when they need you. They only call you when you need, and now you feel like, well, damn, I feel used, but you put yourself in that position to only be useful to them when they need something to use. And then they don't go out and, so it becomes this like cycle, and that's what I learned about myself with two family members that I'm closest to, therapy and Jesus. But it was what I learned about me. It was me, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if I was showing up like that there, I was literally showing up at work, in other places, when I should have said no, but I said yes. Now I resent you anyway, so I'm doing things begrudgingly because I didn't have the courage to be like, nah. Why? Because maybe I'm not going to get the opportunity. Oh, the client's going to leave me. Now I fire myself all the time because no. The empowerment you get with boundary settings is wonderful, because once you learn it, you want everybody else to learn it, because you realize it's hurt you.
It does.
Like you could be good here, but like you could have been so much better if you new boundaries. You wouldn't wear yourself out. You wouldn't run yourself ragged. You would say no. But then the people around you would be empowered too. And then think about if we're all in that space, how much better we would be if we're not all codependent. That's one less thing we got to be traumatized about, and then passing that along. That power of no will make you say. I ran around saying no. I was practicing saying no, and I ain't joking. I was like, nope, no, you didn't ask me that. No, 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 no.
It's also extremely irresponsible to be that way.
Yes.
And it also conditions these people to think that it's okay to always do that.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that these people conduct themselves correctly.
You clearly are not an enabler.
No, that's why conversations like this.
You said that with your chest.
That's why conversations like this are so important.
Yeah.
Because I just got a whole lot of learning that I didn't have to go read.
Yes.
I'm about to just take this in because one of my major things is I avoid conflict because I'm an
too
extremist.
close. Don't feel it. You too close.
Yeah.
That's what happens when people too close, and then they go meet a stranger and be like, "Let me tell you what I heard." You're like, "I've been telling you that for 7 years."
I say yes a lot
Sometimes
because
it happens.
I'm an extremist, so I avoid. I don't know why I came up like this, but I always avoid conflict, right? And maybe it goes back to the whole boxing thing because it's like I avoid conflict because I'm just not trying to take it there with people, right?
Yeah.
But every time I do say no, it never really even goes there. It's like, oh, all right, let me not bother him for that anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right.
Let me tell you, right?
Let me say more than often.
When you say yes, when a person can say yes so much, you could devalue yourself.
That's what happens, yeah.
That's a
And
fact.
that's why I was telling you before about like being very mindful of things of so much work. Well, we're all for community based, but the respect that they're supposed to give you for the work that you do.
Yeah.
Everything you can't just do because it's
God.
like they know like you
Yeah.
have a heart, you're gonna do that, so you have to draw that line where it's like, you know what, yes I can do this, but is there a fee for that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that you charge, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
and if not, I'll become a sponsor on it and to be something to compliment you. But because I was taught,
Yeah,
right,
get something from it.
if you're gonna do something, right, it's you either get paid or you just do it from the heart. But you gotta know how to limit that, because what happens once you keep saying yes to certain things and continuous people know you as like the yes man, and then they won't take you as seriously how they're supposed to. Trust me, I had to learn that.
And they'll pay somebody else, and tempo.
Oh, yeah,
they won't
I'm
give
going
it to
through
you.
that, yeah.
So to the point, and what you said, Angie, is so powerful, right? It's really training other people. Some of what we're doing is not helping people; we're hurting them. So training those people to, yes, you should pay, and yes, you should tip, and yes, there should be that kind of
Especially as a
relationship.
grown adult.
Yes.
If we're going somewhere, why are you expecting one adult to handle all these adults? It's like contribute.
Oh man, that's a video I'm about to do.
Oh,
One of the one of the reasons why a lot of people fails because we're baby and adults, right? And adults start. The way I define adult, the minute you can have a baby out of your body or with your body, you're an adult.
Facts.
Right? So that's kids 13 and up, down maybe 12,
12 and
whatever,
up is
whatever
adult.
That's
age.
the bar mitzvah,
Yeah.
bat mitzvah.
Yep.
Right.
That's how they're
And
that's what it
training.
means,
You
yeah.
are grown now.
Right, and we're not training them. So it's like we're baby and adults, but we don't have to. But I want to say two things. First thing is, I don't know what percentage my phone is on. It might be like 16.
It doesn't even matter.
So it does matter because we want to make sure it gets uploaded to YouTube. And I want to give everybody time to go. I want to give everybody time to go round robin and just introduce themselves. So we'll close. This is very good.
This was
very
so good.
authentic.
I'm gonna
and
say no,
therapeutic.
yo.
Yeah, and therapeutic.
Yeah.
And you know
Remember you
what?
wanted the ice cream the other night and I said no? That didn't go over, it didn't go over too well.
Ice cream now?
Well, you gotta know when to say no, though. You gotta, you're right. You gotta be strategic
Whole
with the
nother
no.
podcast, right?
You can't just be running around just saying no
when
to
to
the wrong
say-
people.
I was practicing it. I practiced the no.
Don't practice on him.
One of the 48 laws of power is the art of timing, right?
Yes.
That was painful.
The art of timing, right? Sometimes you say yes,
free
right?
stuff.
That was a
Practice
painful
on
no.
So look.
Oh, that's not
One
what
of
it is. No.
Yeah, one of the things, and just something you said, from me to you, right? And I understand this, being a man, and maybe having a certain background. I don't know. We didn't go that deep yet, right? People talk about like anger management and stuff. You ever see that movie?
with anger management, so you know what I'm about to say, right?
So pretty.
So yeah, have you seen it? Have
Now
you
we
seen
got
it?
no.
Have you
Now
seen
we
it?
gotta go watch it tonight.
Okay,
I
have
hope
you
it's
seen
on
anger
Netflix.
management?
No.
With come on, Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Adam
and
Sandler?
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
see
Jack
Adam
Nicholson's
Sandler.
the therapist. Adam Sandler's the client.
Yeah.
And so the problem with him, please go watch this movie so we have this conversation later, is he was too nice. He wasn't angry, he was too nice. But the niceness was covering some sort of darker thing.
I watched this.
Right? And what he was trying to, anger management is not about you're too angry, we got to dial it down. It's about balancing when you're supposed to be angry. The Bible says be angry, but do not sin. It doesn't say don't be angry. So what I'm about to say to you is this. As a guy, and I'm still learning this, right? I can be conflict avoiding because I don't want to get too angry. Because I know what I can do.
That's me.
I can flip tables, right? I can spear a person, right? I can karate kick you. I can break you. Like, I can do so much stuff. Like, I can do so much stuff you don't even know. And so I don't want to get into a situation where I might have to do that to you.
That's me. If I get angry, I sin.
Right. Yo, I appreciate you being honest, brother. No, that's a real thing. And we need to have more conversations about that as men of a certain age in certain spaces. It's like, you got to balance that out, right? Because that's called catastrophizing, and it's not healthy. It's a word. Yeah, I read it in
I'm adding
it's
that to the
in that
lexicon.
book. What's the one with the kids and the phones? What's the one? Anxious
just
generation.
Generation.
Anxious generation. So
Anxious
catastrophizing
No, it's a real
is
thing with them. That's crazy.
me thinking I've got a business. I'm making this up. I got a business partner. I got to have a hard conversation with him, and I'm avoiding it because I think it's going to come to blows.
Yeah.
And I'm going to punch him in the face, and I'm going to do jujitsu, and I'm going to break his armor. He might secretly be a ninja too, so now we got to square off, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you say it out loud to other people, it sounds so ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But that's like the thought process. Like, I want to go there with you because I think you're a type of personality. And look, maybe we do got to fight, but at least we know where we stand, right? And that's the thing. Like, we got to fight and whatever, right? But maybe we're not going to have a shootout, right? And if I think we're going to have a shootout, this is the wrong company. I don't even argue with you. I need to back away slowly, right? It's like, it's that type of thing, right? Like that's a totally different thing, right? But I think that's a real thing. I think as men of a certain hue, it's also, we've been taught not to be that guy in the room, not to be that black guy in the room, right? The transverse of that is be the softest guy. It's like, nah, that's not healthy.
I don't want to be the softest one.
I don't want to be the softest either, right?
But you don't want to be the
you know what I'm saying?
stereotypical.
Yo, I'm gonna say something funny, right? Maybe it's the first time, maybe the second time we like had a conversation. I'm looking at the ill time, like, oh, you from Yo, right? And then I listen to how you carry yourself, like your voice. I'm like, oh, no, he's definitely from Illtown. Like you had the tone. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I was like, because I got, Teddy. Yes. He's from Dodge Street.
Okay, yeah.
That's his voice, same voice. I'm like,
That's what they call Illtown?
yeah, East Orange.
East Orange.
Then
I was
Dodgetown, is that
thinking
right?
about Chicago, but that's Chi-Town. Never mind. All right.
Come here, baby. It's okay. We forgive you.
She's like one of the towns.
Yeah, Dodge Street is downtown too. But
You know what's funny? I said something about Oaktown the other day. She said, no, the response was like, no, it's Oakland, right?
That was
Like,
really me too. This is not even a character. I was really asking.
Oakland is Sacktown, right? It's Tupac. But that's really a thing. That may not just be for men, maybe for some women too. Like, I'm gonna punch her and pull her hair, right? And it's like, you gotta have a happy meeting. No, I said punch. I didn't just say pull hair, right? But it's like navigating relationships and having maybe some anger management and some therapy and healthy boundary setting and how to frame it, right? A recent situation, like not letting people know
you have certain things so they don't ask for it, right?
Lining
it up correctly. Like, just because you're a millionaire, you don't gotta tell them, bro.
Don't gotta broadcast it.
You don't gotta tell them.
Coming for it,
right? Like, you don't gotta say that, right? Like, you don't gotta tell them how much food you got in your fridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain level, like that's okay. You avoid the conflict completely. The Art of Fighting Without Fighting. That's another movie reference. Anybody got it?
No.
Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee.
Oh, let me take it back.
The art of fighting without fighting. Right? So there's that. But before this goes too long, we've been on for like
a million years.
Got mad clips.
129 minutes.
We dropped mad gems
It's
on
like
them,
2 hours? How many? Yeah, it's 2 hours.
We're gonna learn a lot.
Opus Clip is gonna do a lot of work.
But I think this is good. I think we have the best conversations with like, we have these all the time, and it usually starts out as one thing.
Yeah.
And it turns into something else.
It goes
We
in
attempted to have a game night at least 3 times here, brought out all the games, and this is what we ended up doing.
That's how it's gonna go.
I'm telling you, but it's the best.
It is.
It's
And
usually
people
the
need
best
to talk.
because that's
Need to
what
talk
we
to
really
each other,
need.
and because we're on our phone so much, you're just ingesting content. And it's good to give and receive and have a marketplace of ideas that's like actually happening in real.
Yeah,
because this is real life industry.
You know, it's true. Like, we needed it because at the end of the day, I look at it like this, right? If we want to win, and we have to create, but also follow from those that are successful. So, like me, like I don't want to be respectful of name drop, but like other cultures, the elders listen to the younger ones, and the youngers listen to the elder ones, and that's how they're able to win. And unfortunately, we don't necessarily mostly do that, and that's why we get stuck in this position, because we're like, okay, I don't know how to carry myself in this certain man I wasn't taught, and then an older person like, well, I'm not up to par with something, so I'm kind of holding myself back because I'm not educated in something like, in a way, you know. So
it's like
conversation.
You ever been in a room? You ever been in a room full of people and you just don't know what to say? Like you just feel totally out of your element. And it's like.
So one thing. One thing I will do, because I see we're trying to give advice to the people, is Dwayne was saying you read the book of 48 Laws of Power. So that's basically a self-help book. It's for personal development. So I feel like the best thing to do is once you are aware of something, like in my young 20s, like around 2017, I started doing personal development because I noticed I was taking everything personal. So I looked into books like that, what's his name, Don Miguel or something like that, the 4 Agreements. I started looking into books like that because I became aware of my issues and my problems, so then I went to go fix them. So, and I was also doing professional development, and also to be a professional, you need personal development. So it's very important once you notice something or you hear someone tell you, oh, you got a bad attitude, you always have a bad attitude, then you need to seek development from that. There's books, you look up on Google, oh, I'm told this a lot, what can I do, what book can I read, you know? You have to seek self-development, and I forgot where I was going with this, but we'll leave it there.
I think that's good. That's very good.
I think you put it out there. And we'll wrap with this. The whole purpose of all of this, right, or the purpose of me relaunching podcasts, this is being very intentional. Our home has always been like this, by the way. Like, this is the average Saturday night if it's more than just me and her. Right? And if it's just me and her, then it's still happening. Right?
That's true.
Right? It's still happening. It's us and
we are
us and the wall, right? It's us and the wall, right? If these walls could talk. But it's organic, and I think this is a great service to the community, just having conversations and just kind of taking off the mask, so to speak. But I was very intentional to design this to have these conversations, because somebody's going to say, okay, I don't have to perform. And I've been saying that a lot. I don't have to perform like you're a performer, right? But you don't have to perform all the time, right?
Not when you're off stage.
Not when you're off stage. And there's so many references, and we'll have more of these. And there was this gangster, a British gangster. I'll find the interview and I'll send it to everybody, where he was like the leader of his crew. Like something needed to happen. He was taking care of it. And he said he woke up one day, he got out of prison, or he's sitting in prison, he's in his 40s, and he's like, I gotta get off the stage. Like every time there's a problem, they come to me because they know I'm gonna perform. I gotta get off the stage. Like this has to stop. But that shows up in different ways. Like as an entrepreneur, like, oh, I can't let them see me here. I can't let them see me there. Like, but I'm here though.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm here. Right? And I think we've all been through, I can't be seen this way. I can't be seen that way. And the truth is, even when we engage with content, it's like, that's not authentic. I want to see the person like fall down and laugh and get up. Like, how do you handle the blows, right? Like, Russell, who's the real you? Right? That's actually kind of right how we were sitting back here before we really started dating. I said, well, who's the real you? Right?
But that's what you asked me. You said you talked to me about real estate and all this performing. I guess I was doing because I really was avoiding trying to talk about anything personal. He said, well, who are you? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Who are you? And I was like, what is he talking about? I'm not talking about this. But that is literal, and it happened right here.
Yeah.
And I was
right
like,
here.
you only come into the backyard. I don't have nobody come to my house, and you have to sit over there. And I literally was like, and let me tell you about real estate. And and he listened and listened and listened, and it was like, all right, well, who are you? And I was like, what are you talking about? What?
Yep.
That you're right. That is literally how it started, and people want that. Like I don't want to go no place, and I got to be performing.
Yeah.
And I gotta constantly put on airs and not be comfortable and not let my hair down. Like when you have to dress up and be an adult and show up, you know you gotta do that.
Yeah.
Right? That's a part of that. But if that's what you gotta do all the time, that's exhausting. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
I'm not doing. But when you get comfortable in your skin too, I feel you get comfortable and you get comfortable saying no. I don't gotta do it. I don't have to do it, and I ain't doing it. I'm so happy not doing it. I'm like, no, I'm not coming to the event. I'm going home to go sit on my couch and watch Vikings on Netflix. I'm serious.
Right.
And now I don't have to make up an excuse.
Yeah.
That's also what we do, right? We go to all these, and now you're like, no, I actually don't want to come out tonight. I don't have to make up a reason.
Nope.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I just want to stay home and watch Netflix. And that's it. I'm not doing nothing else, actually.
I remember the first time I got booked at this all-white bar in East Hanover. And the guy who booked me, he was like, yo, you got to bring the whole crew, perform, and then hang out with us afterwards. It's going to be like a hot dog eating contest, all this stuff. But the Food Network was there and everything, right?
Hot dog eating contest?
Yeah, it was. So I go to the spot. It's all, the whole spot Caucasian. Go in there, we do like 3 songs.
Yeah.
Half our crew leaves, and like the main ones of us, I'm like, I'm about to stay for this hot dog contest. I'm about to give me a couple beers with my guy that booked me. And we sitting there chilling, and he's looking at me, he's like, mad disappointed. He's like, man, you're a really cool guy. I'm like, yeah. He was like, on YouTube, y'all mad gangster. And he like was expecting us to be that, like he expected us to be the gangsters of the evening at the spot, right?
Like,
and they was so disappointed that we was chill.
You was coming to be the entertainment.
That's what I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, he disappointed that I'm cool?
He hyped up the people. Some of the people came for that.
Yeah, he wanted to see the
Well,
government.
when we performed,
Yeah.
but afterwards when I'm chilling at the bar with him, you know, having my drink and just talking to
They
people.
wanted a fight to break out.
Yeah. Because I
wanted
guess
UFC.
maybe he hyped it up to his people.
Yes,
Like, yo, I got such and such coming.
yes.
And he was like so disappointed. He was like, damn, man, you real cool in real life.
Oh,
He was so laid back.
That energy.
Yeah.
With that energy, that excitement. You
And I
know?
remember when I left there, I was like, I think we disappointed we disappointed the white guys, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's funny.
gotta kick your feet up sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, now I remember my last thought. I'm
Go
so
ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
To go back, because, I was being all quiet.
Yes.
So, knowledge is, so your knowledge only goes as far as the knowledge you know, right? So that's why it's important to keep an open mind, but also with a filter. Because you don't want to just take all these things in and just accept all these things. You have to know what to filter out and what to take in. And also what I learned in school was if you're smart, you know nothing. So that way you keep learning.
That's right.
Exactly.
That was a good. We could drop the mic on that, Angie. That was excellent. That was excellent.
I'm going to do a mic pass. Let's start here. Go ahead, baby. Who are you? What do you do? Where can they find you?
Stacy Wilkins, real estate broker. I can be found on every single platform. Licensed in New York, New Jersey. Been in the business over 20 years. Educator, mom, wife, and that's it.
And beautiful.
And beautiful. Thank you.
Unicorn 151. I'm a musician, artist, film, fashion. Also an educator as well. Been an educator for a long time. Come from a family of educators, and I am also a community activist, and I'm here to help give opportunity to my community any way I can, using my platform and leveraging my celebrity to help others. Yes, sir.
Hello. My stage name, I guess I'll say, is Angie Morenaaa. That's not my real name, but I work in healthcare. Right now, I'm getting my business degree in healthcare administration. Right now, I'm trying to build professionally in the finance sector of healthcare. But besides that, I'm also a creative in many different ways. I'm a content creator online. If you want to laugh, check me out. Angie Morenaaa 411, and also Angie Morenaaa with 4 A's. That's Morenaaa. Angie Morenaaa.
I like that. How you doing? Aquil Small. I am a young entrepreneur and the founder of a consulting agency, also known as ACA Marketing and Public Relations, based in Newark, New Jersey. I am a creative, and I plan to utilize my relationships as much as possible for my people and anybody that deserves to have their work shown in the best spotlight as much as possible.
Excellent. And this is your captain speaking. My name is Dwayne R. Wilkins, father, husband, believer, boxing coach, friend to many, nonprofit leader, CEO, and so many other things. But most importantly, here to bring you this podcast, human, talking to other people, just going through life under the hat of entrepreneurship. If that's you, we invite you to be on this show. Let's get real together on Impact Uncut. We were pleased to have you. Thank you, Unicorn. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Quill. Thank you, Baby Doll, for coming outside and being here in our lovely backyard. We'll see you on the next one. We got to go because we got to grow, and we hope you grow too. Peace.
I like that.
That was good though.
I like that. That was fire.